And we are live. Welcome back, everyone. What's that? What?
They have like countdowns.
Yeah. No. The countdown's like 30 seconds. That's way too long. Not gonna put up with that nonsense.
You just don't want to sit still for 30 seconds.
No, that's way too long. I can't put up with that. But anyway, we're alive. We're here, everyone. What's up? Welcome back to another EpicVerse live show. We have the man himself, Mr. Hair, Mike, and we have the British Dragon, Disbrew. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the show.
Yeah, you can't give me a 30-second countdown. I'll start doing like anagrams and stuff.
Yeah. That's fair. But we just need to get we don't even have there's no
What's
intro.
wrong with just saying 3, 2, 1? We're live. What's wrong with that?
Did you even say 3, 2, 1 this time?
I think it's for the people waiting in the stream more than anyone else.
Yeah.
No, he did say 3, 2, 1 though.
No, what I do is go 3, 2, 1, and then I push live. That way they don't have to hear me saying 3, 2, 1. You know what I mean? So
sure,
for you, it's more
for them,
for you
we
guys.
just like
it's more for you guys because you know me. I would rather just raw dog it. I'm just like, let's go, boom, we're live. All right, here we are. What's up, everyone? But
we're just raw dogging YouTube. Yeah,
it's a different show.
Oh my gosh, you're drinking Bang energy. Oh my gosh, I'm so jealous right now. Which one is that?
Drinking Rainbow Unicorn.
Love that one. Love it.
Just see him leave the room and he comes over to your house and nick it.
Yeah. He's like, hey, can I have that?
No, the caffeine. The withdrawal is too strong.
Bro, this is so bad.
I'm drinking coffee. Did you say the Rainbow Unicorn's too bad?
No, they're good, but like the Bang energies, I just know they're really bad for me.
Well,
on TwitchCon when they had the Bang booth stuff, they had an entire booth, but Red Bull people were walking around TwitchCon, and one of the streamers walked up to him and said, "What do you think about that Bang booth?" As well, actually, the thing is, Red Bull have the maximum amount of caffeine you're allowed in a day in it, so you're actually overdosing on caffeine if you have one of them. I'm like, we're literally getting wars between just drinks decide, I don't think anyone's going to go, oh, well, one of them's really healthy for you, but that's the angle they played. Red Bull played the health angle.
This is amazing.
Yeah, I don't like Red Bull, but yeah, Bang is good stuff.
Not enough caffeine.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I need to just get completely surged with it.
It's literally drinking jet fuel, and it's got creatine in it. There's no reason for the creatine to be not even creatine, super creatine.
Creatine is healthy for you.
I know it is, but not that in doses.
Yeah. Look at it this way: Bang Energy, it has carbonated water and creatine. You know, I think that counts as a pretty healthy drink. So
my favorite thing about Bang is that they made like a birthday cake flavor, and it's like we're just going all out. It's gonna be like a drunk drink, loads of caffeine, and we're just gonna make it taste like cake. Why not? We know our audience.
Yeah, exactly. But what's up, everyone? Welcome back to another live show. We do have a guest that will be coming on pretty soon. So whenever she gets in here, then we'll get her on. But we have a lot.
Talk about Ben.
Ben might not even be here.
Yeah. Ben. Either he's going to show up late or he's not going to be here at all. I'm leaning towards he probably just won't be here at all.
He's scared.
So the last thing I saw from Ben was him saying that She-Hulk was the best thing that Marvel has ever created. And because it's Ben, I actually don't know whether he's joking or not. Anyone else, I would assume you were joking. Ben, I'm not sure.
I don't know, actually. Yeah, he doesn't tell us his opinion anymore about stuff unless we're on a stream somewhere and it's beneficial to him to do so. Because he knows we yell at him. No, of course he didn't. Maybe he did. I don't know.
That where you saw that Disbrew that he tweeted?
No, he put it in our chat.
It was in the chat. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I was gonna show it.
But, I honestly thought it was the best thing they've released in years. Shrug.
I don't know if he's lying or not.
That's tough.
Yeah, that's typically really the shrug means he's probably not.
Yeah, that usually means he's actually serious about what he's saying. So that's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised. I've seen people say they thought it was good and enjoyed it. So I know. I do wonder sometimes if I watch the same shows other people do.
It's true.
Well, I mean, speaking of She-Hulk, we're already here in the thick of it. Yeah. Josiah, did you watch it?
I did watch She-Hulk.
Got him. Got his ass. He's watching Disney Plus
Ladies
now.
and gentlemen, we got him.
Last night, Mike and Ben and I were talking. I was like, I'm not paying for Disney Plus. So one of them gave me their login info and stuff, and I was able to check it out. Unfortunately, my wife and I, we sat down and we grabbed a bunch of alcohol and we were like, all right, let's do this thing. So so we watched it, and it was.
You found out there wasn't enough alcohol in the world.
Well, because you can get buzzed, but you can't really get drunk.
The
right?
funny
literally doesn't make sense. One of the advantages of being a Hulk is that you have a faster metabolism, so you can drink more. That's the exact opposite of what you want to do when you get drunk. You want to drink as little as possible to get as drunk as possible.
Yeah,
drinking more is just more expensive. There's no added bonus. Nobody's like, oh, I can't wait to drink loads of beer because I really enjoyed the flavor. Nobody in the history of the world.
Well, I maybe this is a good time for me to confess. I've actually never gotten drunk before. I've gotten buzzed, but I've never actually gotten drunk. But I do drink beers. I drink craft beers, which I think actually taste pretty good. But I also drink black coffee, so I kind of enjoy bitter, weird flavors. So
basically, you destroy it. You don't have any taste buds for real, and you're just like trying to feel something.
Yeah.
It's like a guy
it's the same thing with spicy stuff. Like there's a lot of stuff out there that's way too spicy for a lot of people. I'm like, I don't even feel it. Like I need it to be way spicier than this for me to actually feel anything. So it's bad.
I legit thought your story was going to be, I've never got drunk before. This was what pushed me over the edge. That's where I thought that was going. I was like,
then I watched She-Hulk.
Well, let's just put it this way.
10 minutes in, I just blacked out. I've gone.
Let's just put it this way. We're only one episode into the show, and if the rest of the season is going to be anything like this episode, then there's a high possibility that might happen. So.
Oh, no, this is the high point. Because they said they can't write courtroom dramas. And then she said, and now it's a lawyer show. So this is the next few episodes are the ones they can't write, and they said they can't.
Yeah, exactly.
Look who it is!
Hi.
Hey, what's up? Welcome.
Well, apparently not your interest level in She-Hulk. That is not up.
Well, no.
But
or maybe it's more up even more because I want to know what happens next. Yeah.
I watched. I didn't watch it. I've not watched a Disney show since I got rid of Disney Plus. And I haven't gone back at all. And I watched the episode of Mandalorian where they brought Luke back. And that was the last Disney. That is the last Disney anything that I watched.
Wow. Damn.
Have not touched it since. Got rid of Netflix, got rid of Disney Plus. And with the exception, so like I should say nothing new. Like I have my old VHSs from like Renaissance 90s Disney.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I watch those.
Mad respect because our lives are bad because we watch it.
Yeah.
Said, go ahead.
If you want to know what She-Hulk is like, just repeatedly smash your face into a brick wall, and it's about the same entertainment level.
Yeah, basically. Well, what's weird is that and somebody brought this up in the comments, but yeah, I was gonna get to this too. The whole idea is that because they're Hulks, they can get buzzed, but they have to drink a lot more or whatever, blah blah blah. But Steve Rogers, who is just a human being, can't get drunk because he metabolizes so fast. Mm-hmm. And the Hulk's regeneration abilities are like 100 times, if not more, of what Steve Rogers is capable of. Like the Hulk is almost unkillable. So the fact that that doesn't even make sense that they can even get buzzed because their regeneration would burn it out of their system.
And they still get hangovers. She had a hangover. Which doesn't make sense because if you've got a fast metabolism, you metabolize that fast as well.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense at all. Like, it was weird. I'm like, I mean, I don't know. I don't understand the science of it. I don't think they understand. I know they don't understand the science.
The science, quote
unquote. Imagine writing a show and your context is, hey, so we wanted to do a show about a lawyer, but we don't know anything about lawyers or the law. So here's your show. And you're like, oh.
Okay. I mean, he literally had a thing in his arm which prevented him turning into the Hulk, and she said, well, make me one, and he just went, no, I can't.
No, I can't, yeah.
Okay.
It's only for
Fair
me.
enough.
Well, my favorite part, too, about that, even that context, is that he said, like, Professor Hulk was a combination of him and the Hulk working through their differences and coming together as, like, basically, like, a united front. So what he's saying there is, hey, so I injured my arm and I turned back into Banner, and so now I don't want to turn back into Hulk, so I have an inhibitor on. So he basically was screwing over the Hulk again by going, I don't want to turn into the Hulk again. So the Hulk's just sitting there inside Banner going, cool, I can't get out again. This is awesome. I love this. Like that, you know, and then later they're like, oh, we're back together. We're good again. I'm like,
I mean, you know what? At least it's in his arm and not his left butt cheek.
That's true. That's true. He could have an inhibitor in his left ass cheek and have to, well, you know, but it's Disney Plus, so it's all PG. God, dude.
It's so bad, dude.
Listen,
how are they going to do Blade? Like, I know this has nothing to do with what we're talking about, but just looking at what they've done to the Hulk, how is Disney possibly going to be able to pull off Blade?
They're not going to. It's going to be.
They'll just show no blood.
Yeah.
They'll just be like lightsabers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they've already said that about Daredevil, that it's going to be a way toned down version of Daredevil for that.
Yeah, it's going to be the light-hearted version.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, like we've already seen the dark brooding version. I'm like, oh, I mean, I thought it was just dramatic and well done version.
They're like, so you know everything that you loved about Daredevil, we're going to completely scrap all of that and make it a Disney show as you expect. So
yeah.
Have
I mean,
fun,
at least
guys.
he's a blind superhero, because that gives me hope. Because after watching the show, I just wanted to gouge my own eyes out. So I at least feel some kind of solidarity with him.
Yeah. You know what the worst part is about Daredevil is like now when I see him, I immediately think of the character in The Boys and how like Homelander's just like popped both his ears or whatever.
Yeah. Yep.
He's like, why would I want to cripple on the 7? I'm like, wow, you just crapped all over Daredevil. Apparently, if he went toe to toe with Superman would just go pop and blow his eardrums out, and then he'd be
yeah.
Now you're just another blind guy. Anyways, yeah.
Oh boy.
So, can I point out? Okay? So based on this, so that they're going to tone down Daredevil and they're going to tone down Blade. Do you guys remember so you guys seen the 1990 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie?
Yeah.
You know that's a PG movie, right? I feel like today that would be almost like that'd be PG-13 or even an R-rated movie.
100%.
Like against today's ratings. So like what happened? I'm gonna, please mansplain to me what happened that made the ratings shift so dramatically in 25, 30 years. Like what happened?
That's a really great question. I don't know, because what's weird is if you go back and watch like Caddyshack is PG.
Mm-hmm.
They show tits in that movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's like PG movies from the 80s and they just straight up tits.
Oh, yeah.
Like they just whip them out in front of everybody. And you're like, oh, wow, look at that. So I don't know. Yeah. I really don't know the difference. I do know this. What's weird is the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie, I think it had like a mature rating in Britain because of the nunchucks. Was that right? Yeah, like because apparently because the second movie, if you watch, they don't use their weapons at all, or like they use their weapons occasionally, but they're not allowed to use them against people because of that. Just like what was it? In the third X-Men movie, there's a scene where the Iceman like headbutts a guy, and they had to edit it out in the UK versions because it would have been rated R.
Yeah.
Because you're apparently not allowed to show headbutts over there. That's what I heard.
I've not even heard that either.
The thing that made me, look up or kind of realize all of that too is Ben-Hur is rated G.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So
for all audiences,
that was a movie. That was a movie like from the 1950s.
Yeah.
I think. So that's kind of crazy, but yeah, I mean, obviously there's a lot of changes that have been made as far as like what content qualifies for what rating and stuff. So. And I don't really know what the explanation for it is, to be honest. Oh boy, guys.
I don't know.
Guess what?
Please don't.
Guess what?
Please don't.
Oh my goodness.
Oh,
he's here.
That's what.
He's arrived.
Why does he have a giant pickle in the background? Why does that
here.
like spell Ben perfectly?
It says it's.
What's up with that, Ben?
Oh,
what's up with that?
Okay, I am not gonna lie. Until you turned, I didn't realize that was a fan behind you. I thought you had like a sword or an angel wing back there.
Oh yeah,
I didn't realize that was a fan.
Yep.
just one.
I just
Ben just wears little angel wings wherever he goes.
I do actually. It's my It's a common known thing that people don't know. I mean,
is that the big deal card from the Epic Man video?
No, it's not actually. It is not that.
You know Ben wouldn't keep lore from our other videos. But yeah, right here real quick. Apparently the BBFC didn't allow like ninja style weapons in movies after Enter the Dragon. And there's a scene in the second Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles where a guy uses sausages like nunchucks, and they made them cut the scene out of the movie.
That's terrible.
I don't know. Apparently they finally lifted the ban in 1999. They were like, yeah, that's fine. We can show that.
It's not even. But there's James Bond movies where like there was ninjas and stuff came in, wasn't there? I saw ninja stuff as a kid, so I don't know how that can actually be true.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Apparently there was a whole nother thing too. Well, yeah, even apparently in this too. Headbutts were a thing. The BBFC didn't like headbutts, and they even censored the scene in James Bond where he throws a headbutt at somebody because they didn't want to show it in the movie.
There's even British movies. I can't remember what it is. Is it Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels?
Yeah, but that's rated R.
I love
whatever.
that
What is the R version in the UK?
Well, we have
like,
ages. We
15
like,
or 16, right? Like.
Yeah, we have like 15, then 18.
Yeah. But apparently, yeah, yep.
I honestly think those rating systems make more sense.
They cut it. Yeah, they cut the original headbutt in James Bond in the movie GoldenEye. There's a scene where he
Lock, Stock, 18.
Yeah, they cut it so that they could get the 12 certificate. Yep.
Wow.
Yep. Wow. Yeah, and then they did the same thing.
Why did they find the headbutt so violent?
I don't know.
Interesting.
Shrek. Apparently in Shrek 2, there's a headbutt from Fiona to Prince Charming. They reanimated it for the UK release so that she gives him a karate chop instead because they were headbutts were just too violent.
Really? That's so funny.
Really curious. Yeah, I'm really curious as to why headbutts are the hill they choose to die on. Like, do they not care about like people getting shot or stabbed or anything like that? It's headbutts.
Yeah,
they said
that's a line.
Maybe because guns and knives.
I bet they count it like that's the weapon that you carry with you all the time. It's even more dangerous. That's probably their logic.
Apparently in 2014, somebody asked, they're like, why is this an issue? And they said there was concern. That's all of the reason they gave.
There was concern.
There was
fair
concern.
enough, I guess.
Yeah.
All right, that's not cryptic at all.
Yeah,
informative.
Someone who came up with the rating system must have gotten headbutted a lot.
Right? They were like bullied as a child, just got like wham. But
you're like,
it's just
from personal experience,
right? And I guess, well, maybe I suppose since like guns and knives are outlawed in the UK,
and spoons.
And spoons. So they're
serious?
like, okay, well, the UK can't use these. So if we show them what to do, then they won't. It's not like they can do it. But if we show them nunchucks or headbutts, they could, try and use that on someone else.
Yeah,
maybe that's what.
You'll just see Brits running through all the streets, just headbutting each other everywhere.
The spoon thing comes. The police published a photograph. It was like, these are all the weapons that we've confiscated off the UK London streets, and one of them was a spoon. I'm not even joking.
No.
Yeah.
It was rusty though. There was rust on it.
I think it was. Yeah, it was like a really old
rusty
spoon.
So I think they were more scared of tetanus.
So yeah, because somebody's here and we want this crew to have some time to talk about it. But Ben, lovely, wonderful Ben, you're here.
Hi.
What did you think about She-Hulk?
I didn't watch it.
Oh my goodness, Ben.
Yes, you did. No, he definitely watched it.
No, I didn't. I literally didn't watch it.
Are you kidding me? Oh my God, there is.
And I told you last night to freaking watch it.
I
Even
know.
Fox News is taking the piss out of it.
Thanks for coming on, Ben. We appreciate it. Have a great day.
One of them is a knife sharpener.
Yeah.
They're just like, hey.
Fox News is literally like police station mocked. Tweeting picture of dangerous spoon.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
Dude,
that's really funny.
They're saving the world from rusty spoons.
I mean, even your aren't your knives in the UK getting more regulations on them too? Like they have to have
you can't carry them if that's what you mean.
No, I thought I heard something that
like dinner knives, like steak
butter knives and stuff were getting.
You can't carry a knife outside. Anything.
Yeah.
What if you buy it at the store and you're walking home with it?
it's one of those things you would have to have a good excuse. So you would literally have had to like, you'd probably have to have the receipt on you and stuff. Yeah, you couldn't just carry it. No, I'm not even joking. Like,
that's crazy.
That's crazy.
Yeah, you have to have some kind of reason. Because I think the restriction on what you can carry is it's a very, like an inch maybe or something blade, and it must fold under the pressure of one finger, so it can't lock or anything.
Wow.
Gotcha.
Interesting.
Gotcha. Next, they make you wear like a little pillow on your forehead too, so you can't headbutt anybody.
Headbutt anybody.
They're like, put that away.
Meanwhile, in your prison colony,
I just keep like a stake there on my foot to ward off amorous vegans.
Meanwhile, in your prison colony, you got Crocodile Dundee showing like what was that? I think that was a 9-inch. Yeah, there's 9-inch Bowie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Yeah, you gotta get that colony back under control over there, Dispro, because they're getting crazy. So,
they're criminals.
They seem to be doing a good job of themselves.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
But yeah, no, I watched She-Hulk and it was terrible. It was bad.
I only saw clips. Can I ask, is that clip really in there?
Yes. The entire show is like that. Like it is literally all. Like one of the things is. What is it? So he says, well, I studied your DNA and I used your DNA to fix my arm. And she goes, oh, so I'm better than you. And it's like, no, you're different. And she goes, different in a better way. Like the entire episode is, I am better than you. You are scum. I'm just immediately amazing. And even at the end, it's like he's been the Hulk for 15 years, gone through a load of challenges, literally like saved the world. And she goes, so I was right and he was wrong about everything, and now on to the rest of the series. It's like, you filth. She beats him in a fight.
No way.
Yep. Not only that, like the whole part with the Jeep, like basically barreling over the Hulk and stuff. I was just like, what?
She runs him over in a Jeep. She beats the Hulk with a Jeep.
While he's as the Hulk.
He's there holding it, and she just hits the accelerator pedal and she drives him into some rocks.
Yep.
Okay, so these people don't understand like anything about being a lawyer or how basic mechanics of a vehicle work, because it doesn't matter how strong the person pushing the gas pedal is. Yeah. Like the car only has so much horse.
You see, when someone else uses a gun, the gun gets more powerful. Powerful. If you have a womb, the car has more power.
The power's got. Yep, that makes sense.
That checks out.
The Hulk can literally launch a rock into space,
science.
But it can't stop a vehicle.
I honestly like, I mean, confession time, I did watch it. I thought it was the best premiere they've had yet. Honestly, literally the best show that Marvel's released yet. Like, I can't wait to see more.
Honestly, if you came in and said that straight off the bat, I would have 100% believed.
Yeah, we would have absolutely believed
you should have launched with.
Yeah. Yeah, we thought that you were actually like we all believed you when you said that you thought it was the greatest show you've ever seen.
Dude, it was fantastic. Like the writing is powerful. It's beautiful. Man. Oh, I love it.
Is it stunning?
So good.
Is it brave?
Yeah, we believe you.
I would be more angry at you if I knew that you actually watched it, but because you didn't even watch it, then it kind of
I did
really work. So
I did watch it.
I mean, at one point, Hulk like thunderclaps her. And she goes flying, and then she just immediately does it back, and does it back better than him. And Hulk is lying on the floor, like holding his ears while she's just annihilating him with him. It's like, for some reason, not harming her ears. She's right next to where she's clapping, but he's on the floor, just like hugging himself.
Literally, and she doesn't have any like sound. Like it's just her clapping. There's not like a.
She's never done it before.
Amphitheater or anything.
Like no. She's literally just she claps once. She's like, oh, that didn't work, and then she just does it over and over and over again, and it's just. You know,
it's better than
which dominates him.
Which is funny because that's not how Hulk's clap even works. Like it's part of it. Yeah.
I mean, so about 10 minutes into the episode, I turned to my wife because we literally were just like sitting there, just like watching it, and I turned to her and said, "By the way, this is supposed to be a comedy, just so you know."
Yeah.
And she's like, "Oh."
Wow.
I'm hoping for a joke sometime.
Throughout the entire thing. There's nothing in that entire episode that was funny at all. It didn't. Basically, what happens is after she gets the Hulk powers, she ends up at Bruce Banner's little peaceful island thing or whatever and stuff. And basically the entire episode was completely pointless. It was basically just there just to show that she is better than Hulk, basically, at the end of the day. There's literally no other point to having her show up at Bruce Banner's place and spend time with him there or anything else. So,
and unlike the comics where in the comics she gets her powers because he saves her life, he gives her a blood transfusion and there's no other way to save her apart from doing it. In this, they make it so that she is a woman driver and like crashes immediately. So, you know, at least there's a bit of realism in the show. Like she literally crashes because she's gossiping to him and doesn't see like a spaceship come down in front of them. Like, she's not paying attention to the road is why they crash.
About Captain America's virginity, by the way.
Oh yeah. The important topics. But after that crash, like Hulk is like, oh no, I'm really damaged by the car crash. She's perfectly fine. Crawls out, saves him. She rips the door off a car. She's not Hulk yet. Rips the door off a car and then drags a guy who's like 100 pounds heavier than her or whatever it'd be, like out of the car. And as she's dragging him, he bleeds on her, and that's how she gets the power. So he didn't save her life. He didn't help her in any way. No, she saved him and had to suffer for it.
Yep.
I don't know. I thought that was
what kind of car was it?
Then I'm gonna attack you.
What kind of car was it?
I think it was like an SUV or something like that.
Oh, okay, never mind. I was like, if it was a Prius or something, she probably could rip the door off of it.
It was so good.
Well, what's funny about it too, that whole concept. I mean, and this is like a deep cut, but is one of the first thing I thought about in the original, the Incredible Hulk series from back in the day, that was on in like the 70s or whatever. The whole reason that Bruce Banner, well, at that time it was David Banner, even like becomes the Hulk, part of the reason he does all the gamma research is because his wife in the beginning of the show dies in a car crash and he couldn't pry the door open because he wasn't strong enough, and he was trying to untap like the human potential because he couldn't figure out why he didn't get the adrenaline surge that like other people get to like do feats of strength. So it's just funny to me that even in that, like, there's like this weird backhand to like the original Incredible Hulk show, and they may not have even realized that they did it, but they also might have realized that they did it.
I guarantee you they did.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. And obviously he struggled and like had to do it. She can just immediately control herself because, you know, she's used to controlling her rage all the time, which is that scene. And she doesn't have anything to struggle with. She's just instantly. And after the car crash, they go to a pub. And she walks into the bathroom, and the writer said this was the most important scene out of the entire episode. And she just looks like dirty because she's been in a car crash and stuff. And a load of women come into the room. Women. And they just start like putting makeup on her. They start spraying her hair. Don't fix her hair. They're like spraying it in the same mess it's in at the moment. And then like dress her up like a hawker. And she goes outside, and obviously the men can't leave her alone. And it kind of hints that, you know, they're going to follow her into the car park and whatever, and they're all horrible. So she hulks out and goes to hit one of them in the face. And the only reason she doesn't kill these three blokes is because Hulk knocks her out and, like, stops her. Yeah. And you think, oh, well, you know, she's out of control. She thought she was at risk or whatever, and she just hulks out, can't control herself. It says later on, she's always been able to control herself from, like, immediately. So she was going to murder these people for saying hi to her.
Yeah.
And it's never even suggested that it's wrong. She faces no consequences.
No, because
they never once touch her or anything.
No, they just say hi. They say hi. How are you? What you doing?
So it's Captain Marvel with the how about you smile line, basically.
Yeah, except not rather than just mugging him, she was going to hit one of them full in the face as the Hulk. So that guy was gone,
which would have killed him.
He'd have been dead. Well, because this is correct me if I'm wrong, because if I am remembering correctly, it was a year ago? Didn't we get like a sneak peek or whatever where they're taking that scene out of one of the newer She-Hulk comics where she basically, the murderer or whoever it was, the bad guy has been tried and found guilty and convicted, and he is in the prison van headed to prison, and she goes into She-Hulk mode, rips the door off, and then lets the other woman like beat the crap out of him or kill him or something, doesn't she? Do you guys know what I'm talking about?
I don't know. No, I mean,
hold on. Let me go find it. I will. Yeah, I'll be right back.
All right. While you're doing that, this is the clip that we were talking about earlier. By the way, let me go ahead and show this on the stream here for people that want to suffer.
Freaking fantastic.
Best part of the show.
Yeah.
No,
this was my wife like she doesn't know anything about the show or anything leading up to this point. So when we got to this part, she just like she lost it. She's like,
I'm great at controlling my anger.
It's kind of
I
quiet,
do it
but
all the time. When I'm catcalled in the street, when incompetent men explain my own area of expertise to me, I do it pretty much every day, because if I don't, I will get called emotional or difficult, or might just literally get murdered. So I'm an expert at controlling my anger because I do it infinitely more than you. Here's
More than
What's funny to me is that she ends the scene yelling at him, but she's like, "I'm in control of my emotions, bros." And you're like, "Okay."
Yeah, and one of the writers originally said that one of the things we want to investigate with this show is the difference that people will judge between men and women and how they get angry, and what it's like when Hulk is a 10 and she's a 5, but she'll get judged way more than he will. And this entire episode, he was perfectly calm the entire episode, and she's like screaming and raging out in his face. I was like, no, he's about a 0, because he's used to controlling his rage, and you're just a deranged bint. And it's essentially where we are with the show.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
The show's great. It's good stuff.
Dude,
I do like though as well.
so
It's sort when she did the whole I might get called difficult or emotional or get murdered. It's like all those three are on about the same level, you know.
We just you're just chilling, you know. I mean, that happens all the time in the United States. A woman says hi to somebody, or she gets upset. Somebody just shoots her in the middle of the street and kills her. Yeah.
Yep.
All the
It's
time.
rampant over here. Rampant.
Yeah, rampant.
Yep.
We just kill women all the time.
After she was literally about to murder a man for saying hi to her, and she's like, this.
Well, it
entire
was
thing
either
is just
that
her
or
being a hypocrite.
It was either that or they were going to kill her right out in front of the bar, in front of all those people. Yeah.
Yep.
They said hi to her. Yeah.
So this was a clip that someone shared with me that I thought was really well done. That pretty much sums up everything perfectly about where we're at with the MCU. So let me go ahead and pull that up here.
Yeah.
Now,
all right, so here we go.
Dr. Banner. Now might be a really good time for you to get angry.
That's my secret, Cat.
I'm always angry.
I'm always
iconic.
It was actually a pretty dope scene when this movie.
It's so good. It's so good. People were freaking out in the theater when this was happening.
Why is the sound so awful?
It's a really good costume.
It's probably for the best anyway.
Someone ripped it probably, so.
Oh yeah, this is it.
Yep.
Literally just runs him over. And my favorite bit as well, when she first meets him, he's like, "My name's Smart Hulk," and she's just embarrassing him for his name. And then after she's done the whole "I'm just better than you," and it's like different but in a better way. What is it she says? Oh yeah, she calls him smug. She calls him smug after she's just been bragging about how amazing she is.
He synthesized. Yeah, he tells her like he synthesized her blood and like did some analyzation on it. She's like, "Wow, you're smug," and he's like,
"Yeah,
okay. Yeah, I am."
I mean, he actually should be smug that he's actually done something really intelligent with science to fix himself. And what's she done? Well, you know, someone bled on me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Exactly.
Yeah.
It's so bad.
She's not. She's like the smartest character in Marvel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
I did like the Babylon Bee article though, which said Marvel used state of the art CGI to make it look like a woman can be a lawyer.
Fuck, that's really good, actually.
Hey,
oh man, that was really good. Didn't you share that article in the chat here? Yeah, I see it right here.
Yeah, it's in the.
I mean, to be fair, Johnny Depp's lawyer is a woman, and she's a legend. So
yeah, but I mean, you know, she'd be even better if she had Hulk's powers.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Yeah,
who wouldn't? Hulk's powers would be legendary.
Well, you know, yeah.
I don't think they improved She-Hulk.
No, that's the thing. Like it's because the thing is, she struggles with like anger and stuff, just like he does. She has a lesser version of it in the comics too. She doesn't. That's why she has is able to retain her personality and stuff, is because she doesn't have nearly as much power as Bruce does. Because Hulk is an anger conduit, and she's I got a little bit of that. So, but
I mean, she does in this. She can jump as far as he can. She can beat him in a fight. She's stronger than he is. And
you do everything
at the end when that woman breaks into the courtroom and they're just fighting people, and her mate has to go. Are you gonna go and save him? Are you gonna help?
Yeah.
And she's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna ruin my clothes.
Yeah, dude, it's bad.
It is that whole scene at the end was just terrible.
Yeah. My favorite part is that she has the common sense. She takes off her shoes first, and then rips the rest of her clothes though when she turns into the She-Hulk.
Yep, yeah. But all of that, just letting people die around her and stuff, was done after her speech, where she's like, well, with great power comes great responsibility, and this guy had a duty to save people, instead he's just doing it for money. And she's like, yeah, but I can't damage my shirt.
Oh
man.
My gosh, it's so bad, dude. It's
yeah.
And then so they have the part obviously when Bruce is trying to, mansplain to her how to be a Hulk and everything else, and he's showing her, all the things that you got to be careful of with the powers and everything else, and he's showing her the limit of the powers. He tosses the rock, she tosses one further than him, then he throws one out to outer space, which, okay. But then literally right after that, he punches the ground, and then she punches the ground way harder than he does, which, and then she's able to, it basically shows throughout that entire thing that she is totally in control of all of her powers immediately. Not only that, but she's just better at all of the powers than he is. So like I said, the whole part with Bruce being there in the beginning and everything else just literally was so the whole episode was just empty and pointless, and there was nothing that you really took from the episode by the end of it, other than this whole thing's just going to be a complete dumpster fire. So
it's going to get worse. You haven't even seen her life yet.
No.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Speaking of transformations, because I know Josiah didn't see this, I didn't mention it to him yet. I just saw this earlier today. I thought he might be excited about this because Lord of the Rings stuff, Wizards of the Coast. Wizards of the Coast.
I told Josiah about this.
Did you? Okay, yeah. Wizards of the Coast is.
I knew about it before even Ben told me, but
did you? Yeah. Okay, yeah. Wizards of the Coast is releasing Lord of the Rings themed cards for Magic the Gathering. Woo! And they look super lore accurate, and Gandalf looks awesome, and the artwork looks awesome, and everybody's really excited. And then, they revealed.
What did they say?
They revealed Aragorn.
No,
they revealed Aragorn.
No, okay.
Share the screen, Josiah.
I don't want to click on it.
Share the screen, Josiah. Let him see what Aragorn looks like.
No, make him guess. Just guess what you think they're gonna do to him, because
he's probably gonna look so soy. It's not even gonna be.
No.
It's so.
Swear gonna miss.
Share the screen, Josiah.
Is it a female? Did they make him
share
female?
The screen, Josiah? He's a black man.
Oh.
Aragorn was black the whole time. Tolkien never said he was white, so why wouldn't he be? Listen, this is my favorite part. This is Gandalf in The Hobbits. I actually think Gandalf looks dope. I think that's a pretty.
This was the image that I saw. I was like, okay, that's pretty good.
Awesome. Pretty good.
Yeah.
This is Pelennor Fields, I believe. Yeah, Battle of Pelennor Fields. Pretty dope. Everybody's exciting. Who's that over there? Who's that guy? That's Aragorn.
That's been confirmed as Aragorn.
That's Aragorn, 100%.
Oh,
don't worry though.
Did they say it was Aragorn?
Yes. Our goal is a modern take on the work
Oh my gosh,
Tolkien. Wizards of the Coast. Got you again, bitches. Got you again. You thought wrong.
It's okay.
He's gone.
It's okay. I'm still gonna buy the whole
say
on her reveal of the cards depicting the latter event. Fans were quick to notice the significant divergence for Tolkien's original writings, namely that rather than having a shaggy head of dark fleck hair with gray and a pale, stern face, as described in the books, Wizard claimed to have followed ever so closely the last chieftain of the Dune. On their own, they are glorious pieces of art. But
I think that's in the audiobook, the new modern audiobook. It's just,
I don't know.
just screaming in pain for like 9 hours.
I'm still gonna buy the entire set.
Yeah. It's very serious.
I mean, there'll probably be collector's items because no one else is going to buy them.
Yeah. The folks here at Middle Earth Enterprises take their roles as stewards very seriously. Every decision about characters has been made with deep reverence to the original.
Mm-hmm.
With that in mind, together we set out to make a set that follows two guiding principles: diversity and originality.
Oh my gosh.
Like, if you just take a property and then you change it, that's what makes it modern. Just destroy everything, burn it to the ground, modern.
I love what they said. In terms of the second, he clarified the goal of this set is to express the story settings of Lord of the Rings in cards for Magic the Gathering, noting that while countless prior efforts have painted vivid pictures of this world, our goal is a modern take on the work of J.R.R. Tolkien, lovingly crafted for a new generation of players and fans.
You don't need to fucking change it! There's a reason why it's so popular even to this day with people. It's because it is the story that it is. You don't need to change it. People aren't going to remember your shitty cards in 50 years. What will they actually remember? The original story.
Josiah, listen, this is for a new generation.
Yeah.
You're standing in the way of you're standing in the way of progress.
It's a new generation of fans, baby. You just gotta open the doors to that new generation.
The favorite thing is that's not Aragorn. You can't say that. All you've done is you've just taken a random bloke and called him Aragorn.
Oh my God.
You know what Aragorn is? Aragorn is a specific person, and that's not him. It's just we've done a multiverse, and it's just a random guy with his name. So,
he has a flaming sword and a shield. Everything, man. They just,
I can't.
You're welcome.
I just can't.
You're welcome.
We're about to talk about this. We're about to talk about this Embracer group news too, and this has already set me off on just like complete. Okay.
Look, I just want the chat to understand something real quick. There have been so many times where I've been sitting on a stream, chilling, calm, having a good time. Josiah dropped something on me in the middle of the stream, made me rage, laughed afterwards too. Revenge is sweet. I feel good about this. I knew he didn't know.
No one should feel good about this,
but I feel great about it.
No,
because
this is fucking
I got Josiah to get up, and I got him to scream on stream. Listen, I hope everybody's having a good time. Clip it, put it everywhere, because I knew that he didn't know about this before. He was like, "Oh yeah, I know about the cards." No, you don't. No, you don't.
I didn't know about that.
They're like, Aragorn needs to be reflected for modern audiences.
Oh my gosh, dude.
So my favorite thing is his second guess was, have they made him a woman? Like, that was a possibility that could actually happen.
Yes.
It's like, you don't know anymore.
Yeah, exactly. You just don't know anymore. I'm not buying that. I'm not buying it at all.
You have to, just.
I'm not. I was even telling Ben yesterday. Oh yeah, it looks pretty good. I'll probably buy the set. The Hobbits look great. Gandalf looks awesome.
Yeah.
And then nope, not gonna give them a fucking dollar now.
Yeah.
Fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I noped out of Magic the Gathering a while ago after they basically said that if you were white and you were male, that even though because you're essentially they were like, are the 98% of our audience and our customers are white males. And so, and I don't know where they got that stat, but it was something outrageous like that. And they were like, and we want to change that. We want to make sure that everybody feels heard and represented.
Yeah.
And I'm like, if it makes up, even if it was like, I can't remember the exact stat, but it was like, I'm pretty sure it was in the 90s. And I'm like, so you're going to insult the vast majority of your customer base.
Well, the other thing too is, as someone who plays the game and has played it for years, I play with a bunch of people who are definitely not white people that all love the game and enjoy the game. Yeah. And so I don't find that stat realistic at all, because
it's not. It's just a made up bullshit narrative.
Right. I'm there playing with those people that all are fans of the game, and I can tell you that that's not necessarily true at all.
Do you hear them walk around complaining about not seeing themselves on the cards?
No, people just enjoy it for what it is. It's a
because the company wouldn't lie about that. They said that
Wizards
all
of
the fans who aren't represented in the cards are just they're distraught, they're mentally, just they feel
ill.
Yeah.
The thing is too, like the card art to me has never been like non-diverse even since the beginning of time. Like the beginning of the game's time. So I don't really see what they're changing because it doesn't look like they changed a whole lot to me.
See,
it's all kind of been the same.
I don't give a crap about the actual original Magic the Gathering stuff. They want to put black characters in there. I don't care.
It's their original work. They can do whatever they want.
I have a problem when they start to change other stories that have already been established with visions from the authors and everything else. That is when I have a problem with it.
I, for one, feel honored that they would rip away a character and tear off his skin and put on a fresh coat of paint on him for me. So I feel represented instead of creating original characters for me.
I mean, I am quite frankly disgusted that Aragorn has decided to put on blackface. I think it's repulsive. I think Magic the Gathering should actually be cancelled for just objectively just insulting African Americans everywhere by just having that there. It's horrible.
No.
Here's the thing,
I have a weird question that is probably hopefully it doesn't get anybody like canceled or in trouble or Josiah.
We're hoping to get Ben canceled. We've been trying.
But like, what do you like? They're African Americans here. Do you guys call them African Brits over there?
No, we just call them British. Well, they would call themselves either British people or Africans.
Yeah.
Like the only person, like literally, the first time I've heard a Brit do it was Deezer, and no, it wasn't. Was it Deezer? It was one of the Rings of Power, but it called themselves an Iranian African something else Brit. I'm like, what? Yeah. Like, it doesn't make sense over here.
See, this is why 23andMe and Ancestry.com were a mistake, because now everybody is like, oh, I need to bring up all 23 ethnicities that are in my blood.
I found out I had 2%.
It's an American thing.
Yeah, I had 2% of African
Yeah, I was
going to
say only Americans do that, really.
Yeah,
I don't use that terminology either. I don't.
I mean, when Biden came over here and someone talked to him and he said, "I'm Irish," like universally, I guarantee you, every person in Ireland went, "No, you're not. You're American." It's like doesn't make any sense.
No, it doesn't. But but here's the other thing too. What America stopped doing for some reason that other countries still do are like lineage and family trees and stuff. Like coats of arms are still a thing in a lot of places, and you could be like, oh, this is like our family crest, or this is our coat of arms, or what have you. And in America, you don't really have that like at all. You've got family trees, but it usually stops by like great grandma or something like that, unless you are like a Cheney or a Washington or something of that nature. And so now there's this obsession of it's like it's almost like it's we need to figure out exactly what we are so we know exactly what we can say without being canceled, because then if someone tries to say, oh, well, you're not that, so you can't speak on it, you can be like, well, actually, I'm 1/16th Czechoslovakian or whatever it is.
You're American. You're obviously American, and if you go anywhere else in the world, they will recognize you as American. They won't recognize you as Irish or whatever. It's like, you're a product of the place that you came from. Your culture is specific to where you were raised. That's what you are.
But Americans are rejecting that idea. We can't be American. We're like, no, I'm actually.
It's just deluding yourselves.
I'm aware.
I'm not. I'm not falling for that bullshit.
Well, listen, Josiah. Listen. Okay. So you don't like Black Aragorn? Okay, fine. Nope. Can you please share my screen? Can you please share my screen?
No, what did you
Because here's the thing.
Has he found someone
else? There will no longer be a time where you can say there are no elves of color. So you know what? You don't want Black Aragorn? Well, now you got Black elves, and you can never say that there isn't. You can't.
I'm gonna can.
Lord of the Rings.
I don't think it
Lord of the Rings. The Rings of Power actor Ismael Cruz Cordova took to the red carpet at the show's premiere to promote it with divisive identity politics rhetoric. He spoke to the Associated Press when he told the outlet, there will no longer be a time where you can say there are no elves of color. So we erased that one, you know? He added to the conversation, there will never be there. No, I'm an elf. The next person that comes after me won't have to talk about this. That's what it means to me.
I want the reasoning why, like, a person that was literally born when there was no sun in the entire history of, like, it just didn't physically exist. Why was he created with like a requirement to resist something that didn't exist in the universe?
Disprove.
And it's the same thing for dwarves.
He answers it right here. I always say that if you can see it, you can imagine it. Then if you can imagine it, you can create it.
Okay, but when he was created, the sun didn't exist, so he couldn't see it.
Listen, disprove. You just answered.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like,
if you can see it, you can imagine it.
It's like the reason I'm pasty is because in the UK, don't get any sun. You know where else there isn't any sun? If you live underground. Like, generally, it's. These are biological traits that were created for a reason. I don't really care if you change them. What I want is a reason why. But because this is an already existing IP, tough. Unless I want to point to the paragraph that explains this stuff.
Yeah.
It's so insane.
It's like
why
watching.
I feel like if you can see it, you can. See, this is the crap that really ticks me off. These people try to be like so profound and have like these quotes that they're like, oh, this is going to be such a quotable line. Like, it's not even about saying anything of substance or of value. It's literally to just have something go viral or to like have this veneer of wisdom that they don't actually have. Because you can't, if you are imagining something, you're seeing it with your mind's eye. You're not physically seeing it with your own eyes. Because if you were seeing it with your own eyes, you wouldn't have to imagine it. It's right there.
The thing is, it's not even his opinion. Like, that's almost a word-for-word quote that somebody else has said and is just repeated. That's like the NPC dialogue tree has just gone down at that point. And it is literally the case of, one of them said, the best people are hired for the job. It's just that now we're opening it up to new people that couldn't get access to any of this stuff before. It's like, what?
Yeah.
Well,
go, Ben.
Mike, are you muted? Oh, I was just gonna say, to me, it's once again, it's just there's such little focus put on your own IP these days, and it's like if you want to make these things, go make them. Like,
but they don't want to. That's the whole.
I know, but that's the whole point. That's what I'm saying.
They have no interest in creating any of their own original.
There's no point.
Stories.
There's no point to change stories that are timeless. I don't think there's any.
Well,
point.
they have
there
a
is
point
for them
for why.
Well, yes, but I'm not saying whether that's. I don't think that's a good point. But there is no point, in my opinion, of changing stories that are timeless that are already there. People should not be afraid to make their own stories the way they want them to. That is their right to do that. But I just don't think that, like, manipulating everything else. Well, no, they're not. But
it's not.
It's worse than that.
Maybe it's like it's. I mean, it almost feels like using established IP as a scapegoat for their for not good writing. So it's like I'm going to use something that's famous and popular so I can use my bad writing to try to tell a story that I want to tell.
It ties very much, and this is a great comparison that we can make with this. It ties very much into a lot of the other things that we're seeing happening in the culture right now, like critical race theory, which is supposed to be a thing that is uprooting all of our history and replacing it with a new version of history that is in this new communist woke type of mindset. That's exactly the same thing that they're doing with stories as well. That's why they're doing it with all of these original stories that have been created that have been loved for decades, centuries, however long they have been. They're taking all of these stories and they're completely uprooting them, transfiguring them into this new version of the story in their own woke ideology. They're doing it with everything. They're doing it with stories. They're doing it with education. They're doing it with just the culture in general. And it's just this is just another piece of all of that. So
yeah,
it's not that they're bad writers. I mean, this stuff, you could even not have a script. You're just at the casting at this point. This is the fact that they fundamentally think that Lord of the Rings is wrong by its creation. That these people shouldn't be these characters because it didn't look how we think it is. And so we must actively go and destroy it and change it because that way we can fix it. Like, it was like what we were on about before. Like, if Magic the Gathering's audience was like 98% male, what's that matter? That is completely and utterly irrelevant. If anything, you could say that because Lord of the Rings is a specific thing with a specific group of people, that makes it unique. And then if you have lots of different IPs, which all like do their own thing, now you've got lots of unique things. That is diversity. That is actually a variety of things. If you go in and you change all of them to just add everybody into everything, now nothing's unique. Now nothing's varied. Yep. Now all you've just got is a generic sludge for every single IP that all look exactly the same.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying is it takes away a lot of the intrigue of things, because if you're constantly just taking the same stories or the stories that have already been told and you're just changing them, I just don't think there's it makes storytelling and creativity take a hit, because I think that there are so many great stories out there that people could just tell on their own. You don't need another IP to tell your story. And so it's frustrating and pointless at the end of the day, which I know you guys agree with, but yeah, as a person who does love to tell stories, I want to tell my own stories and I love to tell my own stories. I don't feel the need to take someone else's work and change it to fit my own personal way of writing or my own personal narrative that I want to tell. And so I think that like it's increasingly more frustrating to see more and more people do that when like I'm sure that there are tons of creative people out there with great stories that they want to tell, and they're never gonna get a platform because all we want to do is change the stories that we've already got out there for the last 100 years, or more. And so those people are never gonna get their stuff out to see the light of day. And for all you know, it might be great. And some of it you might not like, but that's the whole point of being creative and doing your own thing and telling your own stories. And I feel like we just completely pushed aside that the value of doing that to,
Well, that's a good point. I mean, it actually does destroy like diversity. It destroys uniqueness in storytelling because you just rip up what came before and you have to replace it with something
else.
And
like Disparu said, with enough people telling their own unique stories, that in and of itself is a diverse landscape of storytelling. That is
the only way to get it.
That is all you need to have a diverse landscape of stories, is just have different people telling different stories that they love and that they've created. You don't need, and then that's exactly what, you've got Tolkien and Lewis and all these other authors in the past making these stories. Those are the stories that they were telling in the times that they were creative and wanted to tell these stories. And now people can do that today, except for now it seems increasingly more difficult to do that today because people don't want to see new stories. A lot of people, I feel like, or at least a small group of people that's very loud, wants to see original stories changed to fit something that they could technically just do on their own. So
the thing is, if you look at the TV that's coming, we've got She-Hulk, we've got Rings of Power, we've got Andor, and we've got House of
It's all existing IPs.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but all of them are telling the same story. There's one recently, she came out about Andor and said, now this is going to be on about gender politics and feminism in the time of the Emperor Palpatine. It's like every single one is just strong woman, man terrible. If women ruled the world and did everything, then everything would be much better. Every single story is the exact same one, just set in a supposedly different world where the characters and the tropes are the same thing. All the women are the same miserable, bitter, arrogant, insufferable people every single time. They're all She-Hulk, just put in different kind of
it's just a different skin or whatever.
Yeah.
They're never going to have different challenges, never going to be unique. Every single one is the same. And this is why a lot of people, it's just boring.
Yeah. At the risk of sounding like I hate my gender, which I don't, if you actually look back throughout history, because you have all these women saying, if women ruled the world, it'd be a much better place. If you look at a majority of like genocides, they were not like the women didn't directly commit the genocide, but they would order the genocide. And not to pick on the Brits, Disparu, but Mary and Elizabeth were two sisters who were two different queens. And when Mary was queen, she was Catholic. She slaughtered a bunch of Protestants. And then when Elizabeth became queen, she was Protestant, she slaughtered a bunch of Catholics. And when you add it up, if you do the, per capita, right? For like population per capita, all that, and you compare it, they technically killed more people than the Nazis.
You don't even have to go that far. It's like everyone's seen it. You see any fight in any pub or any club. It's two guys going at it, and there's two women behind them that are like, go on, get him. It's like every time.
Speaking of women and, you know, having not like, so Josiah, if you share my screen really quick, this was the panel that I was talking about. So talking about She-Hulk with different deals. So basically what's happening in this panel, I'll read it to you really quick. So this is where she's at, and then this is her client, right? It says, I wish I could have done more for you. He got 18 months. That's better than nothing. Men like him never pay for what they do to women like me. Well, perhaps that's about to change. It's She-Hulk again. So now they're in bed, and then her very awesome, supportive ally boyfriend says, why can't you sleep, babe? You won today. It's not winning when a man gets only 18 months for assaulting a woman who has worked for him for 3 years cleaning up his messes. So, based on these three panels, so he has been convicted. He's been tried. He's been convicted, and he is going to serve 18 months, right? We can establish that, right? So he's right. So you come down here. She hulks out. He's in the van. She stops the police van, okay? But like destroys police property and pulls him out. Here at the bottom, this says, your victim wants a few minutes alone with you before you go to prison. She's the one you should be afraid of. So she ripped this guy out of the police van so that his victim could punish him, could like physically assault him, harm him before he goes to prison.
Yeah.
When he's already been tried, convicted, and is on his way to serve his sentence in prison.
Yep.
That is not
Also,
justice. What?
No. If you just look at those two people, a few minutes in a room, like, what's she gonna do to him? He's about a foot taller than it.
Yes, but he's
even this is deluded.
Yes, but he's cuffed. Like so this whole point, she destroyed state or government property, depending on who those police are. She is
probably harmed the police officers.
Probably
because he just crashed the freaking vehicle. Yeah.
I mean, she's lucky she's not the Hulk though, because that police van would have gone straight through him. He would have been.
It's true. Well, it's true. But this is what this is literally where we are at. This is justice isn't good enough. You need revenge.
Social justice.
Social justice.
Well, and that's the thing. This is new She-Hulk. She's not like this in the other comics. In her original comic, she's actually a well-received character. A lot of people liked her character and the whole concept behind her and thought it was fun, and it was like fun tongue-in-cheek and stuff. But they're like, no, we got to make her, the modern idea of feminism.
Yep.
The funny thing is about this, the first thing that would happen after this is that woman would go to prison.
Yes. No, but see, she won't, because she is actually the victim, and he's an evil man who deserved more than the 18 months that he got.
Well, true. Yeah, but she wouldn't be the victim in this scenario.
No, that's the thing. Because she had a superpowered individual standing there while he got the crap beat out of him after
she had entirely new scenario that she's starting.
Yep. Yeah. But see, it's not going to be seen as...
Lost Lady G.
She-Hulk's not going to tell anybody. She's not going to tell anybody. If he tries to tell anyone, they're just going to say that he's crazy or insane, or he's trying to do like a sympathy vote. He probably did it to himself so that he could get out of his sentence or whatever.
And the police officers in the vehicle are probably either have severe brain damage or are dead. So they're not going to say anything. Yeah. Who's going to do anything about it? Yeah. But once again, it's the poor quality of writing. I wanted to share this last one before we get into the really big story. This last little section too, because I think that it encompasses kind of all of what we're talking about with She-Hulk and the writing behind She-Hulk and stuff. So if you want to share my screen here, Jeff Bezos, the man himself, the one that's signing the checks, he said it. He said the thing that, the quiet part out loud. The rings of power is a responsibility, not all about making money.
Correct.
Yep, he said Middle Earth is such a beloved world, and telling the story of forging the rings of power is a privilege and a responsibility. I hope we do Tolkien's work justice. It goes beyond making a commercially successful show. Everyone working on the show read these stories as kids, and our hearts are in it.
I mean, I think he's incredibly brave to assume that he's going to have a commercially successful show.
Yeah. Well, now it's almost like hedging your bets. So, well, if it doesn't make money, it doesn't matter because it's our responsibility to make this the best that it can be. But it's also our responsibility to tell these stories that no one asked you to tell, stories that no one was looking for being told, because you spent what $250 million on the appendices, like.
And I mean, it kind of, him talking about, we want to do Tolkien's work justice. It goes back to, the kind of like the panel that Lady Gravemaster shows. It isn't about actual justice to these properties or anything like that. It's all about the social justice behind it. That's what matters to them. They want to take these stories and they want to completely reform them into this new variation, their new vision of what Tolkien will be for the next generation. So
you can't do justice to anything that you despise and want to change. It's that simple. The only way they were going to make this a success is if they literally just chose something and stuck to it. And I still think they could have even chose this time. They could have made something up, but they had to show that what they actually had access to, that people knew was a fact, they stuck to it like perfectly. If they'd done that, people would have given leeway with the rest. When you've proven that you can be trusted what's actually written down, they would have given you more leeway with everything else. But you can't even be bothered to get the small amount you actually have the rights to, right?
Well, I was telling Josiah yesterday, I said that I still don't know if I would have been a huge fan of the idea, but I think I would have been even more like lenient with them if they had just chosen to tell an original story within the world of Tolkien instead of trying. Well, they are, but they're using established characters. What I meant is making an entire story, no characters we know, in the world of Middle Earth, and just telling a story that way, like a story they want to tell that way, instead of taking a tiny bit of source material and like spattering it out through 9 episodes of the show. I don't know how many there are, but
8.
Laying it out through 8 episodes of the show with established characters, not technically following the lore of those characters. That to me is a far worse offense than if they had just made an original story set in the world of Tolkien, no characters we know. I would have taken a little better to that.
Well, because then you could say, cool, like hey, we're trying to tell a unique story within the universe and
within
and honor. Yeah. But they're not. They want to change the history and you do prequels so that you can. Yeah.
It's malicious. What they're doing with Lord of the Rings, what they're doing with She-Hulk, what they're doing with everything is malicious.
Yeah.
It isn't coming from a place of we're just bad writers and this is the best we could come up with. That isn't what's happening here. It goes way deeper than that. So
yeah, they take glee in taking something that you enjoy, changing it, ruining it, and knowing there's nothing you can do about it. And that's why Deez is so proud of, this is a necessary redress of balance. This is an admission of where we came from and a commitment to where we need to be. In other words, Tolkien was horrible. Tolkien is something that was done in the past that we know is wrong, and we've moved on from now, and we need to change it. And it is literally the fact of whatever it was, like, she would have despised the Peter Jackson films. Like, people, like, if there was, you go back to the whole supposed criticism of Christopher Tolkien and everything, whatever he thought of that would be 10 times worse for this. And she would literally go, well, that stuck as much as it could to the books, and that means that they were wrong. We shouldn't have done that a decade ago. That was a mistake. But this is correct. I can't help thinking that a lot of it just comes down to the fact that they've basically said it themselves. These are the best people for the job, but now we have access to it. It reeks of, well, now I get a part. And it's just like, this is good because I'm in it. And I should always have been in it because I'm me and I make everything better. It's like, they don't care about the actual work. It's about creating a role for us. You want to talk about grifters on YouTube? That to me is the definition of a grifter. Someone that thinks that this needs to be destroyed simply so I can get work.
Yeah. Yep. 100%. Yeah. I've never seen Josiah this upset. I gotta say this, by the way. I've never seen him so defeated.
Yeah.
It don't stop. Just when you think it couldn't get worse, they come in and they uppercut you again.
Yep.
And they kick you, and then they curb stomp you.
Okay,
ladies and gentlemen.
So first thing,
are
so
Embracer
before
the same
we
people that are they the same people that own the show rights? Like the rights?
No.
Right.
No. Nope. This is a whole other thing. Go ahead, Lady Gravemaster. What were we gonna say?
Well, before we get into this, because that article, once we get into it, is going to be a whole other heartache, sorrow, pain, suffering, malignant tumor that just will refuse to die.
Fair enough.
Here, like even Ben, even what you were saying, where if they took new characters and they like completely new characters, there were no established characters, and they just put them into the world of Tolkien and did a new story from there. Even then, it would still be, they would still be attempting to essentially overrule Tolkien or like assert their story as dominant. There's a reason this is getting released on the day of Tolkien's death.
Well,
like,
I don't know if you heard about that. They actually moved it up a day.
No, because he's British. It's 2 a.m. in Britain.
Yeah.
Like going off American time's irrelevant. Like,
oh my god! Wow.
This is the whole thing. It's an American ideology coming into Tolkien, but America, as far as Tolkien was concerned, it's not the world it was set in.
No.
He wasn't there.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah. He died in the UK. It's going to go off UK time.
It's Tolkien's. It is the day of Tolkien's death.
They acted like they did something not, and they're like, no, never mind.
No, that's the same. That's the thing.
They're like, how?
This whole series that's everything that it's been about. It's absolutely shallow, horrific, completely dismissive and disrespectful towards Tolkien, the established lore, the established fan base. Listen, Amazon would not be doing what they were doing. I tweeted this out a while ago. Amazon would not be doing this if Lord of the Rings had only sold 38 copies instead of being translated into 38 languages.
Yeah.
That is the truth of this. He can say that this isn't just about money. This is about responsibility and all that. No, absolutely not. This is a pure cash grab. They are attempting to utilize, because see, here is the thing in their minds. So the established Tolkien fans, right? They're like, oh, well, there'll be some backlash, but it shouldn't be that, like, it worked for this, it worked for that. We're still going to get that initial money, right? But here is where Tolkien and other fan bases differ, because when you see it with Star Wars, the current state of Star Wars is, well, if you don't buy this Star Wars thing, you're not a real fan. If you don't watch this Star Wars thing, you're not a real fan. If you don't do this Star Wars thing, you're not a real fan. If you don't go to that insanely overpriced hotel, you're not a real Star Wars fan, right? So Star Wars has been taken over by consumerism mindset rather than fan mindset. Tolkien, for as good as the trilogy, as good as Jackson's trilogy is, it's still like, my biggest gripe with that whole thing was the condension of time, because it really takes away this. I understand they were trying to give it a sense of urgency, but it takes away a lot from the story, because it felt like the best example is when Gandalf, he's like, keep it secret, keep it safe, and then he leaves. Well, then it only feels like 2 weeks maybe has passed until he comes back, right? And so, and so then, they're like, or until Frodo leaves for the Inn at the Prancing Pony, and so you're like, okay, well, not much time has passed. But when you read the books, you realize that Gandalf and Aragorn spent the better part of 2 decades trying to track down Gollum and researching the ring, because again, in the film, it feels like, oh, he just appeared like he got to Minas Tirith in a day. He got into the tower. He went right to the section he needed. He pulled a bunch of scrolls down, but then he found, it was like the 3rd scroll that he was reading. He found what he was looking for, and it was the Ring of Power, right? So it felt like that all happened really, really quickly. And when you read the books, you realize that that portion happened over the span of 2 decades.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like it wasn't like in the film you sort of felt like maybe Gandalf was only gone for 2 weeks, so how hard did he actually look for Gollum? This, that, and the other. So if that was an issue in the trilogy, And that was only a condension of 20 years. I cannot even begin to imagine. Like, I am so terrified about what we are going to witness because, from my understanding, the 9-minute intro is going to cover around 4,000 years in 9 minutes.
Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me. I mean, they already said they're gonna condense like thousands of years of storytelling in a couple of years or whatever. Yeah,
and it's not going to make any sense because you're going to have like, oh god. First of all, the romance. Did you guys hear about the romance between Hellborn and Galadriel, or Galadriel, because they had to make her Spanish for some reason?
They can't work out how to pronounce the name.
I know!
But the intro of one of my videos, I got 4 different pronunciations of her own name, and she pronounced it 2 different ways herself.
Mm-hmm. Galadriel. Like, just pick one. Go with it. Like, what are we doing here, folks? But yeah, no, it's actually, it's terrifying because if they can't get a detail like that correct, and now they're going to have, where Sauron and Galadriel should not have had any type of interaction like this. Now they're going to have apparently a romance. Meanwhile, she's already supposed to be married to Kel. I can't. Oh my god, they are.
Did you see when she got asked? They asked, "Where's your husband?" And she kind of replied, "There's 5 seasons." That was her response.
Wait till season 3. It gets better. It takes 3 seasons to get good.
I'm gonna get a husband in season 3. I promise me, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be great.
Just 3 seasons. Just give it 3 seasons. Show them get good till season 3.
I can't. This bothers me so much to a level that is really hard to explain, because also when it comes to, all right, I'm going to make sure that I don't say this incorrectly. Galadriel is Elrond's mother-in-law because Galadriel and Celeborn had a daughter who Elrond married, and then they went and they ruled. Literally, they talk about how it is the last house of elves in Middle-earth when we get to the Third Age, right? It's Rivendell, right?
Mm-hmm.
Are we tracking?
Mm-hmm.
So when we get there, so this is like this is a huge deal, especially because elves are so long-lived. This is extremely important. And they have now condensed so Galadriel getting married, like leaving. Oh God, yeah. When they see the boats, is that her leaving? Is that her coming to Middle Earth? Have we figured that out? When she's on the ship?
I'm not sure. I don't know. Yeah,
no idea.
Because if they're taking all of that and condensing it to happen simultaneously with Sauron's rise, it doesn't make any sense at all, because that means that, oh my God, I see. How are they going to do this? You can't, these timelines, these events cannot happen simultaneously. They can't.
I mean, that's kind of the whole thing, right?
I mean, from the trailer, it looks like, because it keeps showing the same characters over and over again, and the recent Time magazine one that looked like a CW series, for a soap opera, it just looks like that's going to be a group that goes around, because she's hunting for whatever this evil is that she knows is there, but she can't discover. So, I mean, I still think it would have been a cool idea if they really wanted to cover this amount of time, which seems stupid, because you could have made, if they want a multiverse, they could have had stories across the entire time period that covered everything separately.
Absolutely.
But now you've shot your load on the entire thousands of years, and so now you can't do that. But either way, if they wanted to do it, I still would have done time jumps every season, and then you could have had the elves would have been the through line, so they would have been the repeated characters across the entire time period, and then you could have had new characters each time, and that way you also wouldn't have needed things like plot armor and stuff, because people could actually die, because they're going to die at the end of the season anyway, and that would have added risk to the characters that you liked, because at any point these people could have been killed. So
how is it that we're sitting here on a YouTube video writing a better show? These people got hundreds of millions of dollars.
But again, that's the whole point, is that they are interested in writing a good show. They're not even trying.
No.
Yeah.
Well,
to necessarily redress of belts.
Well, you want to share my screen again?
Yes, exactly.
Because you know who's going to do it right? Embracer Group. They bought it all. They bought the whole fucking house.
Yes, they did.
I don't even get it, though. These rights are all over the place. I don't even know what they've bought the rights to, because, Is there like book rights and movie rights separate?
Yeah, I think it's just the
Swedish video game company has acquired
so these
Middle
but the
Earth.
books.
And it said Lord of the Rings, The Hobbit, and other Middle Earth stories or something
So they
like that.
they own now they acquired Middle Earth Enterprises, a division of the Saul Zins company who owns like
The
Tolkien,
IP.
the IP.
Yeah, but for what? Because somebody else owns the movie rights.
Yes, well, because you also have the distribution rights. So
Yeah.
like Warner exclusively
It has it
owns-
right here. It says that they'll pick up the motion picture, video game, board game, merchandising, theme parks, and stage production rights related to Lord of the Rings and Hobbit franchises, as well as matching rights and other Middle-earth-related literary works authorized by the Tolkien estate and HarperCollins, which have yet to be explored. So they
So
bought
what do
the
Warner Brothers
future.
own then?
Probably nothing anymore.
Because I thought they had the movie stuff.
Not no, I don't know. Not anymore. No, because after The Hobbit, I think they took the rights back. So yeah. Yep. So yeah. I love the statement here. This is my favorite. I am truly excited to have Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit, one of the world's most epic fantasy franchises, join the Embracer family, opening up more transmedia opportunities, including synergies across our global group. I'm thrilled to see what lies in the future for this IP with Free Mode and Asmodee as start within the group. Going forward, we also look forward to collaborating with both existing and new external licenses of our increasingly strong IP portfolio. So what they've already kind of talked about is that they want to expand into like obviously commercializing this, which is funny because, you know, there was a lot of like pushback from Christopher Tolkien about the commercialization of this. And Disprew's already pointed out, well, like Rings of Power, they're selling like Kit Kat themed Lord of the Rings stuff. Like, how's it not
ice cream
commercialization?
and keyboards.
There's a waffle.
You get
There's a you know those toasters that will like imprint in it, like they make an image. They have one of those too.
Yeah,
we got a toaster.
So,
it's all about merchandising though. Like
yes,
that's
they've said they want to make movies on Aragorn and things. It's
and then they announced
spin-off films on
other opportunities include exploring additional movies based on iconic characters such as Gandalf, Aragorn, Gollum, Galadriel, Eowyn, and other characters from the literary works of J.R.R. Tolkien, and continue to provide new opportunities for fans to explore the fictive world through merchandising and other experiences.
Do you think they're going to use the Magic the Gathering's Trudeau version of Aragorn, or
the real version of Aragorn? He was always black. Because it was too dark, you couldn't tell that he was pale skinned. You know.
But once again, it leads me to say, like, they're talking about doing all these new stories for existing characters, but like. Once again, they have the rights to the stuff. Can they not do their own thing? Or once again, just don't do it. Obviously they want to make money. That's the thing. Too.
Well, they absolutely want to make money.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, but we've seen it before where now the idea is, well, we're going to have a spin-off of all these different characters and we're going to have a spin-off of all of these movies and stuff like that because we're just going to milk this franchise for all it's worth and, you know, got to milk those teats dry.
So
Lord of the Rings, give it to me.
Here's the
give
thing.
Me that sweet milk.
Warner Brothers, as far as I understand it, Warner Brothers still has rights to their films. So they still they have sole ownership of their films. So the Peter Jackson trilogies for both The Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit, they still own those rights. No one they have not lost those. They just can't make new things outside of that, which is why they're making the animated War of the Rohirrim film. So that's supposed to come out in like 2024 or whatever. So it feels almost like Warner Brothers has the third age and like Amazon has.
But even that doesn't make sense because they said they bought the rights to the Lord of the Rings trilogy, essentially, the Two Towers and all that.
Well,
so I don't know how Warner Brothers can do.
But it's the literary rights.
But they're on about making Aragorn movies and stuff, so they can make,
but not. So it can't be. So like they can't use the Aragon. It's gonna have to be. There's gonna have to be like that 10% difference or whatever. That's
okay. This is how this works. When you're talking about an IP that exists, because Aragorn is Aragorn. If he's 10% different, he's not Aragorn anymore.
I know.
Might actually mean they need to use the Magic the Gathering version of him to be different.
Yeah. So apparently this is how it works. Okay. This is some complicated situation because nobody really knows, but this is how it worked. The Zenz company was licensing the rights of Lord of the Rings to Warner Brothers.
Mm-hmm.
And so as long as Warner Brothers did follow the contract and did what they were supposed to do, they continued to have the rights licensed to them. But Zenz company owned Lord of the Rings. It's theirs. So as long as Warner Brothers says that it met all the contractual obligations, they can still use the license based on the series. But now that Zenz has been bought, technically Warner Brothers would be licensing the rights from Embracer Company. So Embracer now owns those rights. So Warner Brothers is now in a partnership with Embracer Company until they decide that they don't want to if they don't want to play ball anymore, then Warner Brothers would lose those rights.
But they wouldn't lose the distribution rights. Like that's the thing. So they cannot lose. So Warner Brothers,
they can continue to release whatever they've distributed already.
What they've already distributed. That's what I'm saying. I think that's why they're trying to come out with this animated War of the Here. They're trying to, while this contract is still viable, while they can still use the license, if they can get it out, they have sole distribution rights over whatever it is that they have worked on and have distributed. So that can't get taken away from them to distribute it. Yeah. So it's going to be really interesting to see how Embracer works or doesn't work when it comes to Warner Brothers, because from my understanding, Amazon ran into a lot of headaches, to put it gently, when it came to Warner Brothers, because Warner Brothers was saying that they weren't allowed to use certain things because it would violate this certain contract that they have and infringe on their distribution of whatever marketing or what have you.
Well, Amazon basically got scraps off the table, and they're like, "Cool, we can fuck this up real good." Yeah, we can't wait to run this into the ground for sure.
Didn't say Oreos weren't in the second age.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Maybe that's why they're saying Galadriel's name so weird. It's 10% different. Galadriel.
Yeah, right.
Galadriel.
Yeah. So now Embracer basically owns Zenz, right? And then
So they own they own the rights. They own everything that Zenz owns.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yep.
They took a part of the Zenz company and they now own that part, but they don't own the Zenz company outright.
Right. Yeah. Basically, though, you've just bought the rights and they're already like, we're going to Marvel this thing. We are going to take every single character and give it its own thing. They're all going to be superheroes. Like, we're going to see Aragorn across his life.
So technically, they own the Middle Earth Enterprises, which is a division of the Saul Zenz company. Mm-hmm. So, which the Middle Earth Enterprises is basically licensing everything that we're getting from Lord of the Rings right now, or Middle Earth. So Rings of Power, the War of the Rohirrim animated movie, Heroes of Middle Earth mobile game, all that stuff. So
everything.
Yep. It's one hell of a risk, though, because like a bad IP like this can tank an IP. So like you have the rights to this bit over here, but if Amazon destroy it over there, it's going to affect yours.
Yep.
And so I don't know, like they're going to have to come out if they want to do it. They can't do what Amazon's doing because they would have to actually separate themselves entirely and be like, no, we want to stick to what it actually is. Because otherwise, you're just going to double down on the bad reputation that's going to come from the other side.
Right.
And then everything you make will be tainted.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I mean, that's one of the things that I was in my video when I was talking about this the other day was the one thing that makes me not as dreaded with this as with Amazon is that Amazon's obviously, a multi-billion-dollar company that, they can run the risk of, if this show tanks, it really isn't going to hurt Amazon that much.
Well, they said that they would not
Embrace is massive.
Yeah, well, yeah. I don't think it's as massive as Amazon, though.
Well, Embracer is the one that is, have you guys ever played the Lord of the Rings board game? That's Embracer.
Yes. Yep.
That's Embracer. So they've done stuff with Lord of the Rings in the past.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it's not like they're completely detached from it, but
They have a market cap of 8.75 billion.
That's
not tiny.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying that they're tiny, but they're not
they're not as big as
a tiny
Amazon.
portion of how much money Jeff Bezos has, though.
Yeah.
Well, and the thing too is Bezos came out, but Bezos isn't there anymore, so who knows if they'd stick to this or not. They said that if this Rings of Power does not do well, they won't go into original story making with fantasy anymore. Which I am all for. So quite frankly, I hope this show tanks and then they stay far away from my fantasy IPs.
The thing is, Wheel of Time, I don't believe that did very well for them at all.
No.
They doubled down and gave it a bigger budget after they saw the numbers. And then they've given season 3 before season 2 is even released. Like, none of it makes sense from a business perspective.
Nope.
It's almost like we've started, so we have to, like, we can't be seen to fail. It's like there's a lot of sort of perception as reality. If we just keep pretending that everything's going amazing, then everyone will trust us.
So Amazon's market cap is actually 1.4 trillion. So
that's literally like a nation.
That's what I mean. Like it's not that big of a deal for them to put out shitty shows that don't do well. Like it doesn't really affect them.
It's a drop in the bucket.
But for something like Embracer, they have to at least take a little bit more caution in what they do.
Well, like what the Lord of the Rings,
or even Disney. Like Disney puts out shitty stuff, but their market cap's like what 200 billion or something like that. So
did Rings of Power cost $1 billion for the entire show? 5 seasons?
No.
Or is that $1 billion for season?
No. Disbrew, actually, I'll let you talk because you did a really good job of explaining it.
Yeah, that's like they bought the rights, and then I think that's like half of it. Then the other half was sort of the issue is the figure everyone throws around because people have said, well, it's for season 1, people have said for season 2. It's actually the creation of the first season and to set up the next ones. So like the sets will be used for the future ones. The idea was the studios and everything else would, but now they've got to move countries. So a lot of that's wasted and we don't really know where that's gone. So all of these figures, they're like touted around to try and increase marketing, but I think we haven't actually been told anything actually
concrete,
not specific enough.
Because and Disprew's right, like everything that they spent setting up the studios and the sets and everything down in New Zealand, now that they have to move all that to the UK, essentially, because like Disprew pointed out, if you spend so say 500 million was spent on studios, sets, costumes, stuff like that in season 1, but you were going to use them through season 5, then really when you break it down, that's 500 million across 5 seasons. That's 100 million per season on like sets and studios and stuff like that, which is not that it's a solid investment, right? Like you're investing into those future years. But now because they have to rebuild all those studios and all those sets and all of that everything, they're going to have to dump that same amount of money into season 2.
Oh yeah, well they're building an entirely new studio over here, and that's not even like it's not going to be ready. Like it was just concrete foundations in the floor, and now, well, they're not going to be able to start filming because I think the studio next to it, which is already built because they're like extending an already existing studio, that comes out because it was ringsofpower.net. They did a thing on it that becomes free after the series has already been shown, so they can't start filming season 2 until after it's already been shown. And there's no way their new studio gets built by that time either, so that's going to delay it. So I don't even know when season 2 is going to actually be finished and done. Moving countries has messed everything up.
Yep. It's awful. It's all bad.
And I think the idea was to always add more money to the budget. Obviously, it wasn't just like we're going to split the 500. But that was meant to set them up so the next ones could be more cost efficient.
Yeah, exactly. But now you're going to have to dump another 500, like you said, another 500 million into construction. And if this thing gets delayed too much, I don't know if maybe they're hoping that the delay will help you. If season 1 is bad, maybe people will just forget about how bad it was and be like, oh, it's season 2 and we'll watch it again. Or people might just forget about the show, period, and not care anymore, and there not be any interest, and then season 2 never picks up. Like I don't know. The Amazon approach to this has been really confusing. I was equally as I was so livid when I watched Wheel of Time. Yeah. First of all, they just erased my favorite character, which really, really pissed me off. Like, I could not handle that. I was angry.
Is that Elias?
No, it wasn't Elias. I'm not going to say because I'm hoping that my character still shows up in season 2. And so if I don't say it, maybe he will show up in season 2. But
that's not going to happen. You might as well just give up on that.
Hey, don't
give us a name.
Don't forget though, the show only gets good at season 3.
Yeah, we keep forgetting about this guy.
Yeah.
Like most seasons.
Don't forget that.
Most series.
Yeah. So give it till season 3.
That's legit my favorite thing said about TV.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
Until season 3.
Yeah, give it till season 3. He might show up.
Yeah. Did you guys ever watch Supernatural? I liked that show right from the get-go. So was it just like
Dean Winchester, baby?
I mean, I just started watching Smallville. I know it's like an old
series. Smallville.
I just started watching Smallville, and I'm like, hey, this season 1 is actually like really good. This pilot episode is really.
I'm gonna be honest. Okay, I gotta say this
then
about
then
Smallville.
the CW bought it.
Yeah, I like Smallville, and I watched all of it. But when I go back and rewatch Smallville, I typically skip the first 2 seasons. I usually start on season 3.
But you've also seen the entire show, though, Mike.
Yeah, so I do it because I start getting past the episodic stuff. I don't mind Villain of the Week and Story of the Week, but once I start getting the episodic carryover, I start to like it a lot. Or the serialized story, I like it a lot more. But Smallville's dope. But
that was more a problem of the time though, because internet wasn't around. People would literally watch TV and miss it. So because no one would see all the entire series, Monster of the Week was like it fit better for live television.
Absolutely.
Yes. Yeah. And so like I guess when I go back and I watch some of these older shows, I'm like, man, I don't know. Season 1, like I'm also like I love Seinfeld and Frasier and Cheers and Friends, and I'm like, I don't know. Season 1 of all of these seems pretty solid. Like, but these are not bad season 1s. That there's a reason that they lasted so long. I mean, didn't Supernatural made it all the way to 15
Supernatural
seasons?
just ended here like last year or something.
Yeah. Like a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
So it blows my mind that this is the approach that Amazon is taking. That rather than putting the effort and the time and the money into the actual story and to make it, I guess, like intriguing and to actually like bring you in, you're gonna just cover and hide things and tell half truths and show horrible CGI. Like, I'm sorry, the CGI in this, like, if it had been a low budget, like $1.5 million fantasy film, I could have forgiven it. I could have been like, you know what? Like, my imagination, I can fill in that gap for you because I have that capability. You have hundreds of millions of dollars. There is no reason that this show should look this cheap. Period.
Yeah. I mean, Thor: Love and Thunder's budget was astronomical, and it looked awful. Like,
that was some of the worst CGI I've seen in a movie ever. Recently,
and I don't even care about CGI, but just that way of filming does not work. Everyone looked like they're popping off the backgrounds.
Yeah,
I think green screens were just better. They look better than whatever that junk was. How they managed to spend that amount of money on that movie astonishes me. It does just seem like nowadays you give people a load of money and it just gets wasted. It's the same with Wheel of Time. Someone explained to me where the budget for Wheel of Time went, because I can't. Most of it was like 5 guys in a field somewhere in a forest with a couple of tents. And
those tents were really
we spent millions.
Yeah,
we spent millions
really
on this.
Yeah.
I don't know, because here, like, so I guess I'm seeing so much stuff. Okay, I will say my favorite character's name, but I swear to God, if he doesn't show up, I'm gonna, I don't know, pick it Amazon or something.
Just rip that bandit off now. It ain't happening.
Because I mean, they've gotten rid of Celeborn, but in Wheel of Time, so there is, for whatever reason, they made.
Rip the bandit off.
There's a lesbian scene in it, all right? There's I don't know how much you guys know, so I won't say character names. 2 women who were never supposed to be involved at all are very much involved, but I'm not even I don't even really care about that. I'm upset because Gareth is nowhere around. Disbrew. Do you think he's ever going to show up?
Gareth Bryn. I don't know, because they've cut out entire cities from the season 1. So if they cut out entire cities, and he's exists in that city, are we ever going to see him?
Yeah, in season 3.
Exactly.
3.
Like,
wow,
it's just
so bad.
He's such a huge character. Like, and that's the other thing too. You're right. Just they've cut out cities that are extremely important. Like, especially later on when you go down. And like, if Gareth doesn't
Elaine
show...
is in season 2, so you might have more Gates than him there. So
I'm angry because, like, I don't understand, why are the male characters are the ones getting cut out when there are far more useless female characters that are now being turned into way more than they ever were in the books, and some of them didn't even exist in the books, and now they're like these huge cornerstone secondary or tertiary characters, and it doesn't make any sense. Like,
my favorite is they've made Min like a 48-year-old woman, which,
oh my god,
anyone that knows the future of the plot, it's like, that literally doesn't make any sense.
Doesn't make any sense.
Yeah,
I don't know anything about that show or that book series, so
that's okay, man. Well,
if you watch it in the first 2 minutes, they absolutely 100% completely destroy men. All men, everywhere. Like, men are just selfish, evil, self-centered, terrible individuals. Because what is happening is so best way to describe this, that is the prelude. Like, that is the intro to Eye of the World, which is the first book. And he is saying that, but he's saying it to himself. So it's a male character, and we're we're from his point of view. He is saying that to himself, where he's like, I realize now that I made a mistake. I realize that this was wrong. I realize I shouldn't have done this. Right. So this is him coming to a self-realization because he's been controlled and manipulated by the darkness, and he has wiped out his entire, like, everybody, like everyone. Think like Hercules, what Hera did to Hercules, killing his family, multiply that by like 10.
Yikes.
Right? So he wakes up and he's like, oh my God. And in the book, it's so impactful because it's a man realizing how dangerous he actually became and how, like, seductive this power was that had been tainted. But when you go to the show, it's literally just a woman man bashing men, all men, everywhere.
Well, the worst thing is it's not true.
No.
Like, what she says isn't true. And then what Leandrin says in the next scene isn't true. And these are Aes Sedai, so they literally can't lie. It's a magical thing that they can't lie, and the first 2 things they do in the episode is lie. So you have to just admit the entire universe has changed. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's so bad.
I know we're getting close to the end. This wouldn't be an EpicVerse stream without a nice palate cleanser. I want Josiah to smile again. I want him to be happy. And one of the things that we're known for
Josiah,
is our wonderful conversations.
The world is darkness and pain.
Our wonderful lists. We like to talk about crazy stuff on this show too. And oh boy, our buddy Disbrew kicked off something real good today. And I want to share it with you guys. This is really good. This is American innovation at its finest. Share that beautiful screen. Canned chicken!
Oh my gosh.
I saw this and I threw up in my mouth a little bit.
Bro, this is terrible.
That is a fully cooked brined chicken.
No, this is wrong. This is wrong.
You see all that? Look at all that.
I can't even look at it. I can't even look at it.
No, this is.
You thought spray on cheese was as low as you can go.
I think spray on cheese is an abomination too. So,
but if somebody was like holding you down and they're like, "We're gonna drop this canned chicken in your mouth," or spray cheese,
all day,
100% every time.
Yeah.
Well, listen, you thought it got worse than that, but I'm gonna show you guys some pictures. I want to see if you can guess what it is. Don't look at my tabs because then I'll just tell you. What's this?
Spam.
What do you think that is?
No, that looks like a chicken neck, maybe.
Gizzards.
I wish it was a chicken neck. It's a tongue, baby. Canned tongues.
Oh, yeah.
Somebody was like, "Bro, listen, I saw that some guy put a chicken in a can. That's bull crap. What if we put a tongue in a can?" And somebody was like, "I'm gonna buy that and I'm gonna eat that." And you know what I saw in the chat? Somebody says, "What else can you get in a can?" You can get a lot of things in cans. What do you think this is?
Oh,
what does that look like?
A spine.
It does look like a spine, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Some meat, some yummy meat.
Is that crab?
Rattlesnake, baby.
Oh, okay.
And rattlesnake. Some guy was like, kill that snake, put it in jelly, put it in a can.
Okay, so I've actually
put
eaten
everything
quite
in
a
a
bit.
can.
Yeah,
I've eaten canned rattlesnake.
Yeah, I've eaten quite a bit of canned rattlesnake, and I've had canned tongue.
Lady G out here living her best life.
Ooh. No,
I mean, you could say that.
She's the only one who started drooling at the chicken.
I'm really
picture.
restraining a lot of judgment on you right now.
Yeah. What about this one?
Thought you were a lady.
That looks like McDonald's.
Brain.
What I mean, if you properly season it, you can make anything.
Is that
brain? What do you call it? What do you call it?
Oh no, is that brain or intestines?
That's a good question. Ben, what do you think it is?
I said it looks like McDonald's.
McDonald's. Okay, Josiah, what do you think?
It looks like chicken nuggets.
Yeah.
No, that's definitely brains.
Pork brains with milk gravy, baby.
Oh my gosh.
Hot diggity damn. I like it.
I like how they're so proud of the milk gravy.
I like that Domestic immediately said can't eat brains. Yeah, well, you can't. You're not supposed to. But you can eat pork brains with milk gravy.
Have you guys, wait,
yeah, I mean, brains on their own, no, but with milk gravy?
There you go. Have you never had stuffed sheep's head?
No.
I've had.
You guys are so welcome.
I love how you say that as if like that's something everyone has. It's like, oh yeah, last Tuesday all the time.
Well, remember we already know how. Yeah, we already know how Lady Gravemaster lives her life. She's like, oh yeah, laser fights in the morning and gunfights in the evening. You guys have never been shot at before? Come on.
I like how this got the whole Shakespearean thing is like a rose by any other name would still smell as sweet. And the guy's just like, yeah, but what if I put brains in the rose?
Yeah.
I can't look at it anymore.
Listen, I got a whole list of these bad boys. We go back to tame again.
I can't believe we're doing this right now.
Bread?
This is wrong. This
That's
is
so
canned brown bread.
Yep.
Why have you canned bread?
Gelatinous slab of brown bread, 90% fat free. 90% fat free bread.
Oh, as long as you got no fat in it, it's fine. Yeah.
No.
That's what I'm worried about.
A lot of people. So if you ever eat restaurant meatloaf, there's a really good chance you're eating canned bread. Just FYI.
I'm never getting meatloaf from a restaurant ever.
Well, if it's not like a mom and pop one, then oh my god, I love
Sandwich.
Yes, I love those.
Put that sandwich in a can.
My opinion of Lady Gravemaster is going downhill fast at the moment.
Like,
all right,
I like
it's plummeting.
When you're homeless, those are quite delicious. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, when you're poor and you don't have a choice, I get it.
You've never seen sandwiches in a can?
No.
No.
Baby.
I don't.
It's no different. You realize manwich is a thing too, right?
There's a barbecue chicken version.
Never had that, but I have had. But back in the day, they didn't look that nice. It was literally, but what they did, it was like, have you guys ever seen a can of sardines?
Yeah.
Right. They would. That's how they would can sandwiches, and it was like 25 cents, and you could get a peanut butter and jelly sandwich for 25 cents.
Wow.
Guys, I'm very excited I did this. This one's a little bit more tame, but canned duck fat. Somebody's like, put it in the can.
That sounds disgusting.
Yeah, we've got that. Well, not canned, but they're in like plastic containers.
Yeah. Doesn't Gordon Ramsay cook a lot with that?
All day breakfast.
Duck fat, yeah.
Baked beans, sausages, mini Scotch eggs, mushrooms, and bacon in a tasty tomato sauce.
We
see
have
that
those.
that doesn't sound.
Look at this. I like my favorite part of this looks. He's like, yeah, that's
we've
us.
got that.
Yeah.
I would actually eat this one.
Is there any egg in there? We put egg in ours.
Yeah, there's Scotch egg.
To me, this is just kind of like you can get like the baked beans that's like the bacon in it and stuff. Like that's just what this seems like to me. So
yeah, they just keep adding more.
Yeah. Ye old oak giant hot dogs.
You know, when I said about the American section, it's like mostly sweets. They've got them in.
The canned
over here.
I don't know that I could buy those here in America.
No,
I've never seen them.
Could not.
Yeah, I've never.
There is like a range of hot dogs next to it. Yeah.
I think Ben is vomiting right now off camera or something.
Or he's gone to like order food.
This is one of my favorites.
It's like, oh, I can eat brains.
Yeah, this is one of my favorites. Canned grass jelly drink.
Canned
grass. It's stalks of leaves of a plant similar to mint. They're steamed with starch, then cooled in its jelly forms, and then you can either eat it or you can make it into a drink.
So it's like cranberries at
grass
Thanksgiving.
jelly drink. Yeah.
Who looks at a cow eating a field and thinks, "Oh, I bet that's delicious"?
These guys, chin apparently chin.
This is vegans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, I want something to drink, and I want to make sure it's environmentally friendly. Grass jelly drink. There you go.
There you go. You're all set.
Yeah, you guys are welcome. Reindeer pate. That was a good one. It's an Arctic delicacy.
I would eat that.
What are these?
Does it have a name on?
It is
What
not a
is that?
delicacy.
What are these?
I would eat a
abominations?
reindeer. I want to
this is
eat a
good
reindeer
stuff.
really badly, actually.
An indulgent
Yeah,
Christmas
like-
treat, Josiah.
Why?
I would
Flavors
totally
are
devour
like
that.
Rudolph.
Why would
Yeah,
you?
I want to eat Rudolph real bad, to be honest.
Sir Rushelot says
It's just like a bright red nose in the middle.
Yeah, just shank him, rip his liver out, eat it, and then just fry the rest.
Hopefully he's not in the air when you're doing this. I feel that would end badly.
Yeah.
Make Santa crash because you need that reindeer pate.
What are you
Roast-
doing?
No.
I'm hungry.
Roast
No.
scorpion, baby.
Ooh.
Yep.
Oh
Yeah.
man.
I have no comment.
So what
They
does
come
it
in the
look
smoky
like?
barbecue
I want to
flavor.
know what it looks like. What is a canned scorpion? Is it just like a whole scorpion, or did they like remove?
Probably.
So does it have like everything on it still?
I
Ugh.
spelled that terribly. There we
Yeah.
go. There we go.
Look at all them scorpions.
Yeah, it's
No.
just a hole.
Oh no.
Because what else are you
No.
gonna do? You're not gonna like de-shell it. There'd be basically nothing there.
Oh God!
Oh, yikes.
That looks like an alien,
yeah,
stuff right
it
there.
does. It
Okay.
does. Yikes.
But
Nope.
yeah,
Nope.
there you go. That's what you
Nope.
guys
Not,
have.
not doing that. Not doing
Well, let's
that.
keep going. That's only 13.
You think that's bad? There's only a matter of time before Krista buys that for drunk 3PO. She already bought him like stuff in her sweets and stuff.
So I don't know how to pronounce this whatever.
Hootlakochi?
Corn
Hulakoshi?
smut.
It's it's called corn smut. Corn smut sounds disgusting too, but it's really only the fungus that grows on corn, which isn't
As
disgusting
long
at
as
all.
it's just a fungus.
You
It's
dirty
just
little
the
smut.
fungus that grows on corn. They're like, hey, get this smut off this corn, put it in a can, and sell it to somebody right now.
Merchandising. It's all about the merchandising.
No.
Yeah, that is literally someone's crop got ruined, and he thought, I can sell this.
I can sell this to somebody. Somebody's gonna
Yep.
buy this crap.
Ingenuity.
You guys are so welcome for all of this. This is
Ah,
one of my
Okay,
favorites, too.
I've never had canned haggis. That's
Canned
Haggis is
haggis.
nasty,
Yeah,
dude.
canned
that's
haggis,
pretty sus.
I imagine that would be an abomination even to the Scottish.
Look at what it
Yeah,
looks like out of the
just-
can, bro.
That looks terrible.
Yeah.
Like it's holding its shape. I am concerned.
Dude, haggis
Yeah.
already.
I mean, so does like corned beef and stuff.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Real quick.
What is
Bird's
this?
nest drink. What do you think that could be?
Well,
Bird's
it's
nest?
clearly
Some
an
parts of the
Asian
world,
drink.
bird's nest soup is considered a delicacy, despite being made from the spit and nests created by cave swifts. The nests are dissolved and made into soup.
Wow.
They're like, hey, look at that bird's nest.
Why?
Can we dissolve that and make that into a soup for everybody?
I want to drink that. I want to drink that nest.
Yeah, I want to.
You
I want
look
to
at
put
the
that in a
nest
can
rug,
and
man,
drink that.
That looks like it'd be a good drink. Mm.
This is what you guys get.
I just-
We already
more
seen tongues, sheep tongues,
Yep.
lamb tongues,
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So that you get what you
Buzzard,
I'm fed with what you're
gizzard,
talking-
Why would you eat a
fermented
buzzard?
in cream sauce.
Like, why would you?
Oh, it's
Why would
fermented
you
in
eat
cream
a
sauce,
buzzard?
okay.
It is
Oh,
just
marinated,
as
marinated.
disgusting.
yeah, the top
no.
half, it's like, oh, buzzard gizzards, bleh. But you're like, oh, fermented in cream sauce.
Yeah.
No,
Oh, okay.
marinated,
Okay.
marinated.
That makes sense.
Fermented.
Yep.
What?
Yeah.
Like that is the equivalent of
No,
eating.
it's
that's
not fermented.
It's new
It's
and improved
marinated.
too. Look,
Oh,
it's new and
marinated,
improved.
fermented, marinated, it's the same thing.
no,
Man,
two
it's in a
very
can, it's
different
probably fermented
things.
too.
They're totally different.
It's basically the same
I
thing.
will-
but
I
it's in
will-
a-
okay.
It's not.
I will
always-
say the letters buzzard gizzard look really nice next to each other though, actually.
Yes,
They play off
they,
each other really well.
Yeah.
they do. But also, why would you eat any part of a buzzard? Because it would be the equivalent of eating a raccoon. Like they are scavengers. They're like they're
So
called trash
prawns.
pandas for a
Ah, yeah.
like. Why would you eat that? I don't eat prawns.
Don't worry,
either.
Lady Grave Master.
Gonna
We
take
can
a
get
lot of
worse than
fish.
eating raccoons. Fish assholes!
Yeah.
My favorite part about this is lower levels of spices have been used to create a mild flavored sauce.
Yeah, I want the
They're
full
like-
flavor of the asshole.
Yeah,
for
don't
me.
worry, we didn't over season these fish assholes.
Don't
No
cover
worries.
up that asshole flavor.
It can be
Yeah.
a side dish or a main dish.
Yeah.
Did you see
Guys,
that?
On the
He
previous
just-
one, I've always liked the like new and improved kind of on anything, because they do it like dishwashers over here. Like, oh, this gets your dishes shiny clean, not compared to that old crap we used to sell. You know, we've definitely improved the recipe on this one.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
What? It's got teeth in it.
Yeah, canned Russian herring. Look at that.
I love canned herring. Actually, that's delicious.
Yeah. But this is Russian herring.
I'm just seeing the picture now, though. That looks terrifying.
In Mother Russia, you know, eat fish. Fish eat you.
What kind of herring are they making over in Russia?
This is no joke.
I've never seen teeth though.
Yeah. That's terrifying.
So
yeah, I imagine like Russian, they just grab it and they just bite into it and just eat the teeth.
Oh, I'm sure.
You know, like the further
they probably
north you go,
gallop right up on their bear up next to the river, and then they just sweep it right out of the river and take a big old
shove
bite.
it in a can.
I was gonna say fish are renowned for galloping everywhere.
Go ahead, Lady Grave Master.
Oh no, I was gonna say, at least here, the further north you go and the colder it gets, the fish get bigger and their teeth get bigger. And I have seen some fish with teeth like that, and I've seen teeth with we can finish this, and then I can show you. I can show you what like a northern pike's teeth look like.
Oh yeah, I've never seen a herring with teeth like that. I don't know.
It's just like a deer goes up to drink from the river, and the herring drags it in.
Maybe I don't know my herring very well, but I've never seen a herring with teeth like that.
New, not old. New barbecue flavor silkworm pupae.
Oh my gosh!
I've always wanted to eat worm babies.
Yeah, a tasty, nutritious bug snack.
Definitely is a thought that goes through my mind every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just don't eat enough worm babies.
Well, yeah, you guys are missing out.
Delicious.
Creamed armadillo on the half shell.
I thought that said armpit. I was like, what?
Well, we got these assholes. We might as well eat armpits as well. Yeah.
On the half shell. Oh my gosh.
Apparently, they couldn't sell it to a dog food manufacturer, so they just started selling it on its own.
Wow.
They were just like, oh, if we couldn't sell the dog food, we'll just start selling it to people.
Even the dogs aren't stupid enough to eat this crap, but somebody will be.
There we go, Lady G. Canned creamed possum.
No.
Potatoes garnished in coon fat gravy.
Oh, wow.
Oh my gosh.
Look, the idea of eating possum's disgusting, but cream it and off.
Yeah.
They're creaming it in raccoon fat. Did you guys catch that? It's raccoon fat.
Yeah, somebody just found a bunch of dead animals and he's like, stick that in a can.
I love that. I love that it says coon fat.
Like, yeah, I was gonna say that doesn't say raccoon.
But that, yeah.
Up north, that's what you call raccoons. It's you literally call it.
You've already seen the pork brains and milk gravy. Yummy.
Delish.
This is my
favorite.
Why
is all the packaging of this stuff crap though? Lots of it's just like white kind of.
Because at this point, if you're buying it, you don't care what the packaging looks like. Canned cheeseburger. Now my favorite part is
why does that burger look like it's got teeth?
It's got teeth. I know.
Yeah. This is from a Swiss company, so the Swiss did this one. But yeah, look at that canned cheeseburger. You're like, man, I want a cheeseburger, but I don't want to make one. I'll just get one out of a can.
Give it to Ben. He'll probably microwave it.
Yeah.
Hey, now,
guys, best foods on the market right there. If you're looking, if you're hungry, that's what you go out and eat. So many people were like, I can't watch this. It's making me sick.
Yeah,
I feel bad. But it is what it is.
Every American I've ever met is like so proud of their food. It's like, oh yeah, come over here, we'll make you fat. It's like, well, we also have this dark underbelly.
Yeah, yeah, we have a there's a dark side.
It's like the dark web of food.
Yeah.
No,
There's like a dark alley. Someone's got a big like trench coat. He opens it up. It's just like got tongue and all those horrible film.
You guys want some canned hamburgers? And you're like, what? And he's like, I got a lot of them. Yeah, canned armadillo on the half shell. Yeah. We got some pupae there. The barbecue.
Some milk gravy.
Oh shoot. I thought this would make people a lot. I thought this would make Josiah happy. Yeah,
really brings out the flavor of the fish asshole and the brain.
Well, to be fair, if I was given a choice to watch Rings of Power or eat some of this garbage food, I probably would.
The best part is you have that choice.
That's true.
Well, I mean,
you don't have to watch Rings of Power.
Well, not for the YouTube algorithm. He doesn't.
Yeah.
No, well,
yeah.
I mean, that's a video though. Watching Rings of Power while I eat fish assholes.
Yeah. He's like, you know what? I got through it by eating fish assholes. It made
some things are a choice. Some things are inevitable. Oh. That's a northern pike.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah.
That's way.
Wait, how is his hand there?
It's a gill. He put it through the gill.
Yeah, he put his hand through the gill.
He put his hand through the gill.
Yeah.
So like if you get different, there's different types of pike.
Yep.
But so like this is a razor mouth pike because it's literally its teeth line all the way to the back of its throat, kind of like a shark.
Yeah. Yep.
So
yeah. Pike don't play around.
Yeah.
Pike don't mess around.
It's they're not. I think actually. Oh shoot! I shouldn't have stopped sharing because there was. I'll see if I can. This is what happened to one guy. I actually watched this video too when it was posted. I don't think I could find it again, but he got bit. He got bit by a pike.
Yep. Yeah. Oh, those suckers are so sharp.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I got I got like half bit by a pike once.
Really?
It was not good. Yeah.
Half bit.
Yeah.
But
you don't mess with those things, man.
No.
He was just trying to eat the fish's asshole, and the fish was like, no.
I'm just trying to get that fresh sushi fish ass, you know? He's like, come on, man.
Just She-Hulked up, and that was it.
Yeah. Oh, man.
But I think, I think I would actually rather get bit on the elbow by a pike than have to deal with whatever Amazon is about to dish out to us in
100%.
like 12 days.
Yeah.
Like
12 days away.
I can't fathom how much you must hate yourself to utterly destroy something that other people love and adore and has helped them through depression and loss and lack of faith and horrible times in life and war. There's a lot of veterans who love Lord of the Rings because it helps them like really like I guess not visualize, but it helps with, you know, just knowing that you can overcome it and that your brothers aren't ever forgotten. Like that whole sense of duty and honor and fellowship and fraternity, it's all in there. So a lot of vets really love Lord of the Rings. So to watch Amazon just crap on it in such spectacular fashion is something that I truly never wanted to witness. And unfortunately, I'm going to have to.
Yep.
The whole idea of duty is something that's been completely eradicated from modern entertainment. Like, it's not even a concept. She-Hulk is all kind of, oh, well, you know, I'll damage my clothes. And even in this, I'm pretty sure they said that Galadriel goes out hunting the evil for vengeance. It's not duty. It's not, you know, this could hurt somebody and I think I need to save them. That's not even, it's like, no, I will get satisfaction out of doing it. It's all about doing what you want, not what you should.
Yes. Yeah. That's a really good point.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah. We have a few super chats that came in from the stream as well. So let me pull those up. Dermy Wormy, thank you for the $2 super chat. My G Gundam episode 1 review is out now. Check it out. So there you go. Go check out Dermy Wormy on YouTube and check out his review. We have Chef Nick Nero. Josiah, when you doing an R. Kelly video, ask Apple why they sell a P words product.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know what the story is. So I guess
you should look it up. You can put Tom Hanks in thumbnail.
I was going to say.
The perfect opportunity for it, actually.
Yeah. To be honest, I don't really follow any of like the R. Kelly stuff or
you should.
Apple or anything.
It's gold right now. Yeah, it's awful.
Yeah, but I'll check it out. We have Jolly Roger. Thank you for the $10 super chat for EpicVerse. I can't wait to see the first project. Super hyped for EpicVerse. Do you take script story ideas from people, or are you strictly doing your own stuff? I mean, we have a lot of different projects that are being made in EpicVerse and everything else that are beyond just like Mike writing it or me writing it. Like we have a lot of things that are being written by other people. We have a lot of projects that are being made by other people that are going to be part of the EpicVerse library. So we do include a lot of other things from other people as well. So yeah, if you have ideas or stories, like I've said before, you know, always feel free to share with us what you're thinking. And, you know, if you have certain areas of expertise or areas of interest that you want to be involved in, you know, we're looking for all of that stuff. So feel free to get in touch with us. So, Chef Nick Nero with another $5 super chat. World War II, both my grandmothers were born and raised in Africa because of German invasion in Greece. So I legit am African American. Send money here, LOL. There you go.
This poor African child.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yep. And it's always funny whenever you bring up like a white person who is African American, then you're like, oh, that's African American, and then people like get super confused. It's like, well,
yeah.
Well, it's because you're taking their power away at that point. You defeated the entire argument. Because it's like they simultaneously would want to give them the whole special privilege, but they can't because it's like, well, no, because I don't actually mean someone from that country. I mean something else.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's true.
Reese the Cripple, thank you for the $10 super chat. Or Reesef the Cripple. For years now, Magic has slowly been uglifying the women art on cards to stop the male gaze because female players don't like it, yet they show more and more shirtless, muscle-bound men.
That's in everything. It's the same in gaming. It's like difficult to even find like an attractive woman in games anymore. They just look weird and bizarre.
Yeah.
And I think it was Blizzard. I think it was a Blizzard developer that said they had to someone said it. They had to change how the character looked because they didn't want to look fragile and weak. So they made it look like a man instead because men are strong. That was literally their thinking.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's genuinely insulting.
Yeah. Well, I posted on Twitter the other day, like, there's, like, such a huge attack on masculinity and manliness in Hollywood and everything else, but there is also a huge attack on femininity as well. Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
So
it's feminized men, masculinized women.
Speaking of that, just a little
traditional masculinity and traditional femininity that they don't.
The gift that keeps on giving. I wanted to show you this real quick too, just to make you look at it.
Yeah.
Thanks.
This is Eminem. This is the Eminem character from the trailer.
See, that was the thing.
Power.
I wasn't sure.
Got boobies.
They look it, and then I looked at that. I'm like, is that the same person? But it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%. And that.
Wait, this person has boobs?
Yes. That whole thing they're wearing that is literally designed to emphasize that fact because it goes round on either one, and then it tightens in at the bottom to make it like more stand out as if it's protruding.
You're welcome.
Is this supposed to be a dude or a girl?
As far as I'm aware, that is the one, the fake Sauron that everyone that.
Yeah. Right. Oh my gosh.
It's an acolyte or something, right?
Look, Tolkien never said that wasn't it.
Yeah.
He never specifically said.
It's like a weird.
That.
It's like a weird fetish thing. I don't understand. I just don't get it. It makes no sense whatsoever. First of all, that clearly has it has no structure. Like,
yeah,
it does. It at least with like Xena with her leathers and her armor and stuff like that, it made sense why stuff where it was because it protected certain areas or it gave her like mobility or certain advantages whenever she was fighting. That makes no sense at all. It literally looks like a priestess who's going through a mild goth phase and decided to just throw on some medieval torture device.
Yeah. I'm into it.
Yep.
Yep.
But just keep in mind they're doing Tolkien justice.
Yeah.
So.
Well,
back to the books. Back to the books. Back to the books.
Yeah. It's the spirit of the books. Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yep. You're welcome.
This is a necessary redress of balance.
This was important. This was for you guys. This was for the fans.
It's a statement of where we were and a commitment to where we need to be. That's where we need to be. Look, in 20 years, we'll all be wearing that. You'll look back on this and be like, I was so embarrassing.
But
it's like when people look back on flares. No.
Yes, but Amazon did us all a favor by making Tolkien not evil anymore. So there you go.
True.
Yeah.
Yep. He's not bad anymore.
Did you guys ever see? So I got blocked by the OneRing.net, not to be confused with the OneRing.com, who are actually like great folks. But did you guys ever see what I got blocked for? When there was this whole thread, and this woman, so they made this thread about how so OneRing.net makes this thread, and they're like, we need to do this, and this for people. And then this woman came out, and she was like, well, see, this is an example of misunderstanding the situation or however she like phrased it or whatever. And then she goes through this whole thing. She calls Tolkien racist as shit. And then the OneRing.net calls her thread insightful and interesting. And I called them out on that shit. and then I got blocked. But she literally states that he was like racist as shit, that he didn't appreciate anyone outside of like Britain, or he looked down on the different like British colonies or whatever. And I was like, you realize the man fought in World War I literally to save the world from evil. Again, and it wasn't like, oh, I'm only gonna save white people. Like, he fought next to people from all kinds of backgrounds, all different countries, in an attempt to protect the world from an even greater evil.
But that is literally what Deezer said when she said this is a statement about where we've come from and a commitment to where we need to be. She was calling him racist. She's saying that, he didn't have me in it and therefore obviously must be, and we must fix that. Like, so Rings of Power have said it, because she's made those comments repeatedly. So as far as I'm concerned, anything an actor says is endorsed by the people doing the show. Or if they don't come out and, like, disown the comment kind of thing.
Yeah. So, like, this is the thread. It's super long, but down here it gets down into the real truth is that it doesn't matter whether Tolkien would have tweeted a pride flag emoji in support of McKellen. The fact is that so many brown and black people adore Lord of the Rings shows that acknowledging the bad doesn't mean we can't still love it. Times change, and so do stories.
How can you love it?
Right?
Like, if you think something's racist, how can you actually love it? That is saying that you don't actually believe it. You're just using that as a point in an argument to win the argument. If you believed it, you couldn't love it because you would think it was horrible and disgusting. Unless they're just admitting to be racists, which, I would probably agree with.
Changing the times and changing stories. What is that? Can you read that one more time? That last thing?
Yeah, so it says, the fact that so many brown and black people adore Lord of the Rings shows that acknowledging the bad doesn't mean we can't still love it. Times change, and so do stories.
There you go. Right there.
Yeah.
Absolutely atrocious. But yeah, up here is where she says that people feel fundamentally unsafe in the Tolkien fandom because...
How? You're reading a book! How?
Yeah, no, it's pretty crazy, and
I might get a paper cut from that racist book.
That's the danger.
The fandom is apparently racist as well.
But where are they? Where? Someone point to the roving band of Tolkien fans, which are just going around the street invading people's homes and going, "Oh, have you read Tolkien recently?" It's just like, I want you to tell me what this quote is from page 3, otherwise you get the sword. No, it's never happened.
Not to my knowledge. I would agree with you, but yeah, so like right here is where she says Tolkien was a rich upper middle class white Catholic man in the 20th century England who was racist as shit. He probably was homophobic too.
Probably. We're just going to assume it, are we? We're to go.
Yeah. No, that's where we're at. We're going to go off of probablys. We're going to go off of outrage and all of that jazz. So it's quite horrific. And then so when Torn gets, so she does this whole thread. Here is where OneRing.net comes in and says, great thread, like literally states, great thread, that stems from a case of misunderstanding on the word woke, its history, and its current weaponized usage. Because they were trying to say that the right had hijacked the word woke when the left was bragging about
it was a left-wing term originally.
It was a left-wing term. Yeah. And they bragged about it, and the definition has not changed at all.
No.
But now it's a weapon against the left instead of their word, which makes it problematic. Yeah. And then this was in response to me. They said, we want to clearly state that the toxicity you saw yesterday does not represent Lord of the Rings fandom, nor the views of Tolkien himself. Those nasty comments are agitators who know nothing about Tolkien and are fighting a culture war they created. Fans don't deserve the toxic drama.
What I like about that is at the start, they say does not represent the Lord of the Rings fandom, which means they do. because they can speak for the entire fandom and say, we will decide, we are the arbiters of what represents them and what isn't, because we're the ones in charge.
Didn't they also just agree that Tolkien was racist, but then they said that doesn't represent the views of Tolkien himself?
Well, no, this represents the views of Tolkien. Me calling them out on it, that doesn't represent the views of Tolkien.
So it's so insane.
So this is the fandom. This is the real fandom right here.
Yep.
I'm not. And then, of course...
so the real fandom believes that Tolkien is super racist.
Yes, the real fandom believes he's homophobic, super racist, and he was wrong in every way, and that the story isn't actually good. Yeah.
If you look at any of the academic panels, there's just article after article after article. Although they can't really decide because they'll simultaneously talk about like the queerness of the Tolkien universe, but then say he was homophobic. So pick one.
Contradictions galore. But yeah, and then of course the one that the OneRing.net deleted, which I will never let them forget, it's going to be in my next video, is how respect the lore is coded language for racist perspectives on text that never describes color.
Pale
which is false.
Pale skinned.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about Tolkien.
Yeah.
And then the text that never describes color. You know what? I just.
I mean, he describes skin color multiple times. He even says that the guys from, I think it's the West are like darker skinned or brown skinned or something. I think. And, from the East. So he does talk about skin color quite often, actually, in the book. Like, that is part of describing a character.
You're using the text, and that's racist.
Oh, my bad. I'm sorry.
because listen, Tolkien never really actually described it. And if the OneRing.net said it, then it's obviously fact, regardless of what Tolkien wrote, because he was a racist old man.
Yep.
What does he know about stories?
It's all about changing the story, right? Changing the narrative. So
the times change, and so do the stories.
It's just amazing how we can be like, hey, but the story said this, and they're like, you're racist.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Like, what do they have? What? What about the story thing? And they're like, listen,
facts.
Racist. Have they removed it?
Blocked.
I googled Muriel because I know Muriel was described, and I think she was described as pale and various different stuff. And then I've got this, and it's actually got character, and it says Muriel was described to have silver hair and a slender figure. It's completely removed.
Fatphobic.
Well, yeah, but they've actually removed any reference to like. Tar Muriel. Was this one the one actually?
Jeez.
There's gonna be not even any reference to what she looked like on the page. I don't know whether it was there before, but it's definitely described in the book since it's just been removed.
I know there's a picture floating around of her and
they haven't actually changed the picture. I wouldn't be surprised if that gets changed. There's gonna be a lot of retroactive editing of pages and stuff as all this kind of comes out. Removal of things. Oh no, we didn't do this. Same thing with the dwarves. My favorite one is there's an image that goes around of when people go, well, Galadriel wasn't actually a warrior. And they go, they'd be like, when does it reference she was a warrior? And people have been posting this image of various different quotes. Not a single one says she was a warrior or a fighter or led armies or anything else. But they just put the quotes there as if they've proved their own argument. It's like, there's this idea of perception as reality, and I find it hideous. It is literally, if we lie to you enough, then everyone believes it, so it must be true.
Yep. Yeah. It's crazy.
And that's what I mean. It's all malicious. All is malicious.
Yeah.
Well, it's not like this wasn't done on accident. It's not like these IPs fell into their hands and they're like, oh, we have no idea what to do. We're inexperienced and we're terrified because these are such beloved IPs. So we're gonna do whatever we can to try and make it something different, but that people will still love. That's not what's happening at all. You know, these people are actively seeking. That's why, like you said, like I said, they would not have sought out Lord of the Rings and its story if it had only sold 38 copies rather than been translated into 38 languages. Like, it's really that simple. And like, what's truly mind-blowing is you have people who are like, well, it's the same people who scream that capitalism is evil and that, you know, these big companies need to pay their fair share. But then in the next breath, they're like, you just need to trust that Amazon knows what they're doing because they spent all this money. So clearly they're going to try and make it good. It's like, pick a lane, pick a freaking lane.
They're already editing the page. Like in this, the titles is Queen of Numenor, but I'm sure that Nerdrotic said that she was never actually the queen.
Queen Regent.
They've actually checked. Yeah, but I don't think she was ever Queen Regent, like in the books.
No.
Yeah, but she. So that's a change to the lore in Rings of Power. But on this page, the Lord of the Rings fandom wiki, they've changed it to the Rings of Power thing, rather than what's actually in the text. God. So they're already going back and giving her titles from the series, which was never true.
You want to know something interesting? Sorry, I just read this on Culture Crave's Twitter page. They just said pre-release audience demand for House of the Dragon is 20 times higher than the Rings of Power, according to analytics.
Damn,
that's absurd. 20 times higher.
Yeah.
Wait. Can you read that again? Sorry, I was taking care of this freaking
pre-release audience demand for House of the Dragon is 20 times higher than Rings of Power right now.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty bad.
Yeah, I heard
that's
about that.
That's crazy to me.
Yeah.
Like this is Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings.
Game of Thrones was one of the biggest series.
But the reason Game of Thrones exists is because of authors like Tolkien.
Mm-hmm.
Like, but people don't acknowledge that, and they don't want to admit that fact, that the reason we have half the fantasy we have today or more than that is because of Tolkien.
Yeah. The best thing you could do then is then corrupt it and change it to what you want. Yeah. That way you can then influence everything else.
But like, I mean, the sad thing is I think that shows really how people actually feel. A lot of people actually feel about the Rings of Power is there's just not that much hype for it. Like I've seen very little, if any hype for it anywhere.
Well, I think what they're hoping for is because Rings of Power is going to like utterly destroy Lord of the Rings, like story and consistency and characters. Whereas I think House of the Dragon, people were so disappointed with how Game of Thrones ended. Yeah, that they're hoping that this can somehow be like a redemption arc.
I think they're actually a little bit more interested in this because it actually is being based off of like an established book. Whereas like the end of Game of Thrones was not based off of any book because the book wasn't written. So
yeah.
It was just made up.
And apparently now, according to George R.R. Martin, he had no input in the final seasons.
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't be surprised at all.
Yep.
If he didn't. So
I would.
Yeah, but that's also a very handy escape for him, isn't it?
Right.
It's like, oh, don't blame me for any of it. No, but I've got this new series which I am connected to. Mm-hmm. It's like even if that wasn't true, it would be a very handy thing for them to say.
It'd be
so
a good
that he's not tainted by it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yep.
I don't know.
And also, if he owns the rights and stuff, like, why would he not have wanted to be connected to those? Like, he should have been. And like, as it's his IP, he should have put the time in to make sure that was done properly. And so, as far as I'm concerned, if he wasn't involved, that's a problem for him, not other people.
Yeah. That's it. That's on him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Absolutely.
Freaking heck! I don't know, man. I don't know.
Let's see. There's a couple more super chats here as well. Chef Nick Nero again with $5. Thank you so much. It's knockoff marketing. If you think it's a name brand bag, but it's a knockoff. It's just labeled Louis Vuitton, but it's Walmart.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So yeah. And then Blackguard, thank you for the $20 super chat. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. I'm no expert, just a casual in regards to Lord of the Rings, but isn't part of the reason elves are so impassive and aloof and slow to make quick decisions in part due to their long lives? Doesn't this destroy what makes elves elves?
He's talking about that. That's when we were talking about the timeline condensing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Whoa.
Yep.
Whoa. You're making a lot of sense.
Racist.
I'm gonna stop using
racist. Misogynist. Blocked.
I got called an internal misogynist again the other day, and I don't understand why that is a thing. Like, I don't.
How else are they supposed to use the label against you?
Yeah, they're basically like, oh yeah, you're on the inside of the female gender, but you
hate yourself. Yeah, you hate yourself.
Yeah, the idea is that men have subjected you to such evil and horrible things throughout your entire life that you've been told it so often that you now just believe it. So essentially, we've brainwashed you.
Yep. That's ideological subversion. That's literally what communism is based on. That's
the best part about it is that's how powerful we as men are.
Yeah,
that we can literally brainwash you into believing everything that we think about women. Apparently,
At the end of the day, you are just a woman, and that means you're very, very easily led by men. Is essentially what they're saying.
Yes.
It's one of those things where they're trying to defend something, but actually just come across as like the most sexist of everybody.
Yeah. Well, we're so powerful.
Insulting. Yeah,
we're so powerful. We created an invisible glass ceiling that you're not able to shatter.
Yeah.
Yep. So.
Huh.
Yep. But the only way
isn't all glass invisible?
Well,
even though HR departments are like 99.9% women, we've convinced all of them to keep women down below the glass ceiling.
Exactly.
Yeah,
but fortunately, we have a bunch of rich, white men to give you roles in their movies that they're funding with their billions of dollars to give you the representation you needed to break through the glass ceiling that they also created. Stunning and brave. You're welcome.
Oh my gosh. I hate Hollywood so much. I hate feminism. Like, it's such a disease. Like, for me to state a clear fact where a 135-pound woman getting a cold clock, whether it's a left hook or a right cross to the face by a 185-pound man who's got maybe a foot on her, say she's 5'3" and he's 6'3", she's probably going to break her orbital bone and her nose at the very least, if not be knocked utterly unconscious.
That's very misogynist of you.
Yes, that's what I was told. I told that I had internal misogyny because women and men can fight each other and it can be a fair fight.
Yeah, that's misogynist.
Yeah,
I think we're exactly the same.
Yeah, well, because that's the thing, it works in boxing, but that only counts because we're all men. Because, a 130-pound guy can't fight a 200-pound guy in a boxing ring and it'd be a fair fight because the weight difference. But a 100-pound woman versus like a 200-pound guy, equal. Easy. It's the same.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly the same.
It's because of like physics knows who's doing what, and so it gives women more power per like size of muscle.
So this is
that's why when you get into a Jeep, you can actually run over the Hulk because physics knows that a womb is driving.
Yes, or you pick up the gun and it becomes more powerful and accurate.
Yes.
I got it.
Yes.
I got it.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you're just lucky you've got a man here to explain it to you.
I appreciate it. I needed that. Yep.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah,
do what we can. Yep, we just helped you break another glass
I like
ceiling.
to do my part.
Yes,
Carefully, there's glass on the floor. Yeah.
I like to lift up other people. This is a necessary redress of balance.
I appreciate that. I feel empowered and I feel so strong standing on your shoulders. And now I'm going to spit on your heads and call you misogynists.
Well, you're not standing on our shoulders. That's silly. Because we're still above you.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're simultaneously equal to me, but just naturally inferior. That's the way that works.
Got it. I gotcha. Yeah.
There's another glass ceiling that we're above.
Physically, you're shorter than us, but your aura is taller than us.
I'm pretty sure I'm taller than most.
But we're also better than you.
So. Yes.
Yeah. Well, we all know you're like 7 foot tall. Don't worry.
Yes. 7'7".
Yep. We already know that about you. Yep. That's how demigod bodies work. We get it. That's fine.
It's actually very British when you think about it. It is like I'm going to pretend I'm beneath you, but really we all know that I'm actually superior.
Yeah. Wow. It's like stunning and brave. But what's funny is we're looking up, but like you're below us. You're stunning and brave. Wow. Yeah. We're figuring it out, everybody. You guys are welcome.
Yeah.
Cracked the code.
Good job.
Cracked the code.
Lady G, it was awesome to have you.
Yeah.
Ben died.
Yeah. Did die.
Yeah, Ben died. He just randomly died and he turned off his computer as he died.
He'll respawn, I'm sure.
Well, it was great to have Lady G on for every section except the food section.
in which case,
she was just Grave Master then. She wasn't Lady Grave Master.
Yeah.
Well, so the only reason, here's the thing too. I did not know that I was eating canned rattlesnake when I was eating it most of the time. Because we would be like out camping and my uncles would just like make the food.
Take the label off.
Yeah, like not tell us what it was. And oh my.
What the heck
are we looking at?
Who was Tubin? He's like Tubin.
Yeah, I was just about to say.
Ben, what are you doing?
I thought it was being like kidnapped. That was like a scene out of Taken. We were just going to see his face, and then he gets dragged out again. He's like, "Save me!"
Yeah.
Listen,
Amazon's found me. Help!
Yeah. He's the first to go. He is the first to fall. No, but yeah, when like the canned rattlesnake, my uncles, they fed it to us and didn't tell us. With the stuffed sheep's head, I've only ever had it once because I was a dumb American, and they were like, everybody here eats it. It's a delicacy. You should try it. And I was like, I mean, I guess when in Rome. So I gave it like a try, and then never gonna have, like, would not recommend. Will not try again. But
delicacy just seems to be like expensive, cheap crap we give to tourists. That's the translation.
Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, we all eat these little baby ducks that have been like 100 years old and an egg that's rotten. Oh, everyone eats that over here. He's gonna do it. He's gonna do it.
Yeah. That's about it. That's really about it.
Yeah. So that's really it. But like I said, the canned sandwiches, I ate quite a bit of those. Because there's a lot of them, not anymore. You don't see it now. People actually bring like bread and jelly and peanut butter. There's Ben.
Sorry, hey, the misogyny guy.
God, you're so loud.
Ben.
Damn it, Ben,
Your
you're coming
mic.
to the wrong mic.
You trying to kill us?
Oh, is that better? Is that better?
No. It's not okay, Ben.
What are you doing, Ben? You trying to ear rape us?
Change your mic, Ben.
Why is your camera angle so bad too?
Is this working?
It's so loud.
Is it working?
So...
Hello?
I feel like I'm in a horror movie right now or something.
We went from Taken to horror. It's like TheRing.com.
Ben's like, I want to play a game.
Hello. Sounds a little bit better. You're much quieter.
Okay. Yeah, you're a lot quieter.
You're actually perfect right now. Good job.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, dude, that was the most stupid 5 minutes.
I thought you'd gone.
Yeah, what happened?
So I went to fix something and I turned off my mic, and then I tripped on the cord and it knocked the computer off the desk, and then my microphone went flying and my camera went flying, and then I had to put it all back together, and then it wouldn't work. And now we're back. And
where was your camera when it activated for a bit? That was the one. I don't know. Was that like under a bed or something?
No, it was. Yeah, I'm actually under a bed. It was my webcam is covering the webcam on my laptop. So like my actual like plug-in webcam is covering.
Yeah.
So the wrong webcam activated rather than
I thought we were getting like a really sus angle, and that's why you turned it off so fast.
No. Especially when it turned off when we mentioned it. It was like, oh.
It's not as sus as it seems, but I couldn't hear anything you guys were saying, except for occasionally I would hear Lady G and I would hear Disbrew, and that's it. Mike was silent the entire time.
Ben gets off to feminism, which is why he had to jump off.
Yeah,
strong female.
Anyone badmouth that.
So out of curiosity, so this is going like so way far off topic, but you guys, so that Resident Evil game that came out, the 8 with the village or whatever, and
I
had
love
the vampire
Village.
chick.
God, you didn't even let her finish the conversation. He's like, I love that game.
He means the village people.
I'm telling you that now. What
What
are you gonna say about it? All right.
Because that had the really tall vampire chick, right?
Yeah, everybody.
Yeah.
Called her
Everybody wanted,
called her
like-
mommy.
Yeah.
No, you called it. I didn't.
No, I didn't. Everybody else did.
It was everyone else, not you at all, though.
No,
it's not my thing.
No,
But,
tall women scare me.
That's the feminist men thing.
Okay, I was like really curious because like so many guys who were just like step on me, mommy, and I'm like, is that actually a thing? Like,
No.
why are these men broken?
If
Why
you
are they
classify yourself as a male
joking?
feminist, that's the thing. Yes.
Well,
Yeah, that's like a weird.
That's
That's like a weird.
Matsuri, so.
That's like a weird degenerate side of the male fandom. But I no,
It's just
actually,
the soy side.
actually, tall women are very intimidating. I think
Why?
if they're taller than
How
me,
tall are you?
like if they're taller than me, I'm 6 feet. So
Oh,
if they're taller than
short.
me, yeah.
I mean, you're taller
That's his
than
actual size.
the average male in America
It's
is
like 5'10", I
5'10".
think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I've
Yeah.
got that
So-
beat up, yes.
So I guess I find it interesting that you think that tall women are intimidating.
Yeah, like Gwendolyn Christie is like an intimidating figure. She's like super tall.
Intimidating.
I don't know
figure.
why. Yeah, that's just always something that I found intimidating. I have no idea why. Ever since I was like little, for some reason, like really tall women are kind of scary. So,
did you have a teacher who like just stood over you and like intimidated you with her height? Is that what happened?
No,
this like public school trauma?
Did you ever have a dummy mommy, Ben? Is that
just started stepping on you?
I'm telling you, it's an irrational fear. I have no idea where it comes from. No idea.
But so what if she is at 6 feet? Like she's the same height as you?
That's fine. I think it's like once someone like
once
like,
a woman.
What if she's the same height but then puts on heels?
Oh no.
No, I don't like that.
Because women cheat is what we're like.
Once Ben has to do this with his eyes, he's like, I'm done. I can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
I don't know. For some reason, I just like my wife is 6 inches shorter than me, 7 inches shorter than me. So.
You can't. Yeah, I wish you paused. My wife's 6 inches. It's like she's one of the borrowers.
Yeah, no, it's but I don't know. That's like my preferred height. So
6 inches.
No,
It's a lot of people's preferred.
Yeah, that's about average. That's about average. So
it's not like actually. The averages are like way smaller.
Average. No, average woman in America height for a woman in America is 5'1".
Wow, you guys are talking about the height of something. I certainly wasn't talking about the height anymore.
Yeah,
I know.
Yeah, I was on.
I'm still saying the averages are still way smaller.
But yeah, average height of a woman in America is like 5'1 2/4" or something like that. I forget.
Really?
They're pretty short. And then, but the global average for women is like 5'3.5". I was looking this up.
I was thinking 5'4".
Average is 5.1 inches. So
it used to be 5'4". It
used to be. Women are getting shorter and men are getting taller.
Nice.
It's all the veganism.
I like it.
Yeah, you guys are still talking about height. Yep. So was I. 5.1.
No,
baby.
Average.
I think that actually is closer to that average.
Yeah, I just looked it up. It's 5.16.
Well, it depends on which country you're talking about.
Well, we're talking about the U.S.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you start getting in other countries, you're like, oh dear. Like,
yeah, don't start looking up the Asian countries because
well, aren't they only like? I think their average is like 4'11", isn't it?
Oh, we're not talking about height again, Lady Great Master. We've been talking about something else for a hot minute now.
There's two conversations going on here.
Yes.
There's
Are we sure? Because I feel like it's the same conversation.
Nope.
Well,
nope.
We can go with that. Sure.
Like women.
Talking height.
Like it's really interesting because if you
it should always be 0 or negative. It should never be. There should never be anything longer because you're a woman. But today's climate, some women have average length. Sometimes some women.
What are you talking about, Mike?
I mean, in Rings of Power, anything goes.
I'm tracking with you, Mike. I'm tracking.
I am so confused. I am literally trying to talk about the fact that, like, if you look at the scale, like women were getting taller for like 2 decades, and now for some reason, and then we plateaued, and now we're getting shorter again. So you'll have like, there's like this there's this dichotomy. There's this split. You have some like. You've got some who have gotten taller, but they're actually outside the mean. So they're like more than three deviations from the top of the bell curve. But then when you go the other way, like there's this other dichotomy that are actually the average. They are the mean because they fall in that bell curve, and they're like 4'11" to 5'1".
I mean, it's like that fake emo Sauron Rings of Power thing. I think that kind of fit into both categories there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
fake Sauron has definitely got, at least 3 inches.
Definitely above 0. Yep.
Definitely above 0.
What are you guys talking about? I don't understand what is going on.
It's okay, Lady Grave Master.
That's what makes it all the more endearing.
Sauron was definitely packing. Absolutely.
Yeah, Sauron was not. Yeah, he was walking. Yeah, he was packing. Some major heat.
Yeah, he had both.
A couple of ball curves are in that one.
Yeah,
there's no guns in Middle Earth. I am so confused.
Just swinging it. Yep. We all saw how big that mace was.
No one expected to see a helicopter in the Rings of Power, but we're about to.
It's gonna be in there. Okay.
I'm waiting for Lady G to finally catch it, and then be like, "Shame on all of you," but she hasn't.
You disgusting peasants.
I don't know. I don't actually quite understand. I feel like we are having two different conversations, but I just don't understand. Don't agree with me.
The best thing is the same measurements worked with both.
Yeah, 5.1 works. 5.1 in height.
Yeah.
5.1 in the other thing. Yeah.
Yep.
In what other thing? Like
some measurements are like vertical, some measurements are horizontal.
About, like, rounds? Are you talking
We're
about
definitely
like 0.5?
we're definitely talking about penis length. There it is.
And with that,
and on that bombshell,
rip that band-aid right off. Here we are.
Why? But
the shroud of the dark side has fallen.
Okay.
All right.
So I'm not gonna lie, Epic Mike, you 100% cut out, and I don't think retinas have length.
You didn't hear what he said?
No, he said it's 100%, and then he spoke, but there was no sound that came out, and
her brain senses the smoke.
It did. She didn't hear it. She was like,
tunnel vision.
No, I just went back. I went back because I have the stream on my other screen, and I'm trying to read your lips, and you literally said retina length. Retinas don't have length.
We're definitely talking about.
That's not what anyone
something else does, though.
Your brain is like automatically censoring filth.
Yeah,
we're definitely talking about. All right,
we were talking about penis.
Ben, you say it,
Lady Gravemaster.
What are we talking about?
Penises. All right, I gotta go. See ya.
Wait a
minute.
Ben.
Hi, Ben.
It made him sound like he's got Tourette's.
Did you see how his eyes lit up when he said it?
Penises!
Like,
gotta go! Penises!
All right,
wait a minute. No, Ben, now you can't leave. Hold on. No, you can't leave. You don't get to say that
Ben,
word.
you're in trouble now with Lady Gravemaster.
Why would you
did this,
do
Ben.
that? Why would you do that, Ben?
Yeah, Ben. Why would
you start talking about penis length?
Why
Ben?
would you say that?
Disgusting.
Yeah, why did you say that, Ben?
We should end the stream before
Don't duck face. Don't duck face.
Okay, see you later.
Smut.
Oh my god.
He has to go answer to his intimidating woman. So.
You guys are terrible.
Yeah,
oh my
yeah.
word.
This is all Ben. Ben was the one that brought it up. I certainly didn't look it up immediately.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it looks like the
has been
chat
on the
was
Halo
tracking
stream
pretty well with us too.
Yeah.
So.
Well, Lady Gravemaster knows that like I am the epitome of like wholesomeness. I've never talked about anything inappropriate ever.
Yeah, of course. Never think anything dirty ever.
Yeah,
no.
She definitely didn't have to contact her husband to get him on the stream to like tell you she was nice.
She's gone.
She's gone. Tell them I'm nice.
She's completely muted herself there. Yeah.
She's probably getting him now. She's like, he's gonna hunt you down. He's got a special set of skills.
Yeah, well, it doesn't. Yeah, he'd probably just teleport to where I am and break my neck. Yeah.
As long as he does it on stream, then that's all that matters. So.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Hubby says hi.
Hi, Mr. Gravemaster. Hi, sir. Hello.
No, he called because he's watching the stream.
We're behaving.
He's watching the stream, so he called me and he was like, because there's that delay. So he's like, sweetheart, this is what is being discussed.
He's like, honey, what are you? That's not what we're saying.
I mean, Mike did just like point blank say it, and you're like, oh, I cut out. I didn't hear it. He's like, well, no, unless your brain actually censored the word, because he definitely said it. Everyone else heard it.
It was amazing. She was like, I didn't hear the one word that you said.
Yeah.
But then Ben said it. And she was like, Ben, that's gross.
Yeah. I can't believe you'd bring that up.
Yeah, I can't believe you said that.
I just like, you're just like, Ben, you are a disgusting, filthy pleb.
And then he left. He just left. So he's like,
oh man. Well, that was fun.
Indeed.
Yeah.
But
that's a good way to end it. You know.
Lady G, you're the best. Thank you for coming and hanging out with us.
Absolutely.
Thanks for having me.
What do you have going on, by the way?
Me? Gosh. Well, real life is really kind of taken over at this point. But I actually have a couple of videos. The one that I'm actually really excited about that I hope I'll have ready by Monday or Tuesday is it's like a compare and contrast. People who did Tolkien characters better in different IPs than Amazon is doing in a Tolkien IP. So like, for example, to be like, it's going to be like, who do you think is going to actually, which of these looks more like they'll turn into Galadriel? And it's like the Amazon Galadriel. I don't even remember her name at this point because I'm so upset with her. But is it her in her rubber armor? Like that armor is legit rubber. Like probably 3/4 of that is rubber. Or does it? Does this look more like? Here, I'll share really quick. So this is from, and I've shared this actually on Twitter too, but this is from Alice in Wonderland live action. She even like, if you want to do Warrior, like this did Warrior Galadriel better than Amazon is doing Warrior Galadriel, and it's not even a Tolkien IP. It's Tim Burton's Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah.
So it's like comparing, contrasting stuff like that because it's just so egregious what they're doing with all of it. It's just terrible. So that's that's one of the things that I'm working on. And then I've got my Nostalgic Nirvana stream should start back up next week. And and then I'm going to be just absolutely eviscerating Rings of Power because it's so bad. I just don't understand.
I mean, when it comes out, we're going to be obviously talking about it here on this show every Saturday. So if you ever want to hop on and talk about it, you're more than welcome to. So
I appreciate that.
Absolutely.
I will definitely take you up on that invitation at some point. So.
Yeah, for sure.
But it was a good time. And then last night we did our Lethal and I did our Sailor Moon stream. It was we got to the final manga in the series, and then we had the redub and the Crystal Sailor Jupiter voice actress on Amanda Miller. So she was on last night, and that was a lot of fun.
We had Amanda on the show before. It was good.
Amanda's awesome. She's awesome.
She's good people. And it was a lot of fun. So it's just been a little bit intermittent lately, but I've got more stuff, and I am about 2/3 done with the first draft of my book. So
awesome! I didn't know that you were working on a book. That's really cool. Nice.
I just got really sick of. I'm getting really sick of dark fantasy being hijacked by wine aunts. Like, I'm so over this fae BS. Like they couldn't. It's like, oh, elves are so overdone. Let's just do the dark fae and the light fae and the summer court and the spring court and the fall and the winter and the night. It's just like, that's not dark fantasy. I mean, that's like a dark fantasy that you should have kept in your head type thing, because it's basically it's erotica, but like then I get yelled at by these women when I'm like, Dresden is better. Like that's dark fantasy. Conan is dark fantasy. Dark Crystal is dark fantasy. But no, I have to read about dark fae who are only going to change for that one woman because she's just amazing. She's lived 1,000 lifetimes, but this one mortal woman who is like nothing like the rest of the women because she's strong and she's brave and she's stunning and beautiful. Just something about her. When they looked at her, they knew she was different. And I'm like, I'm really over this. Like, so over this. But that's just
cringe, man. It's just a bunch of cringe.
What are you guys doing?
But
really
given that your brain automatically censored Mike saying anything even slightly rude, how did you get on yesterday? Because I forgot you were in the stream until you just mentioned it. Because Lethal mentioned it earlier. With Amanda Miller bringing up the grapefruit method.
Yeah, that was a shock for me. And then I got yelled at.
I bet it was.
Yep, that was a bit of a shock. And I had to actually go, YouTube and Google both yelled at me. And I had to go edit that part out because it was, I didn't even get yellow. I got red. So it was like, hey, you have to, you got to get rid of this like now. And I was like, okay. Yeah, it was very interesting having Amanda on because Amanda and Lethal definitely have similar mind waves.
Oh yeah.
Well, she's been pushing on the Weebs and Waifu channel to have a Weebs and Waifu After Dark. Because eventually, the way that the last stream, not stream before last, got spun out of control. It's one of those things, you know. And Lethal doesn't have a filter, so
nope.
Yeah, kept around you amazingly. I don't know how he's been doing. How you guys have managed to get this far into Sailor Moon without him completely like just destroying your channel? Because
I don't let him.
Yeah, Lethal has always been like, those are the really wholesome streams that I do. And then, and then today he was like, this is what we showed on it yesterday.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he showed that. He showed the grapefruit clip twice today in the full Aussie. He had to make up for it. He's like, hey, I gotta. Yeah.
Yeah, it was really just shocking because so the joke is that like so Lethal doesn't like hentai, and I won't go into what that is, but
we know.
Everyone here knows.
He made the joke of like how, you know, he's like it's because of this, that, and the other. But then when Amanda was explaining what she had to do when it came to reading her script, I made the joke. I was like, see, Lethal hentai voice actors do have to put in some work.
Nope.
Oh,
just disappear.
It's like, well, you know, that means it has to work more. And then it just did it? My bad. No, see, I'm having tech issues. So like my stuff really did cut out when Mike was talking.
Started saying something unwholesome, and her computer shut it down. It's like, hey.
No, you gotta stop. But yeah, but I simply made a lighthearted crack about
I wouldn't use the word crack.
Very well. I made a lighthearted glib about how you know, hentai voice actors have to actually work. And then it just went off a cliff really fast before I realized what was happening.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
I can imagine.
Yeah, Lethal's like, you just activated my trap card. Like,
I've been waiting
hey, I got
for
the
this
same
moment.
card. Yeah,
He's been like restraining himself for weeks, and then he's like, no, oh god.
But it wasn't bad. Like it wasn't too terrible. And then like I said, I had to go edit that part out because oh my god, like almost instantly too. I think somebody actually narked on us because within like 30 seconds. And then Amanda pointed out, she's like, it might actually be the sound because apparently YouTube tries to kink that whenever it comes up. But yeah, it was a bit of a different stream for me yesterday for sure. I don't see that happening again. I mean, it was bad enough with Halo when it finally dawned on me that it was indeed softcore prawn.
Oh yeah.
Like it genuinely was. I could not believe what I was watching. Absolutely ridiculous. But
well, yeah, your level of I guess you could say innocence sort of is kind of refreshing around here because we all have pretty terrible brains. So
we've been on the internet far too long.
Yeah, we're lost.
It's too late.
We're lost to the darkness. Yeah,
I'll pull you back.
Save yourself. It's too late for us.
Yeah.
Well, but honestly, like the crazy thing too is like Wheel of Time, like shows today for them like freaking out of, oh, we can't show this, we can't say this, we can't do this. There is a lot of explicit, like sexually explicit stuff in shows today that are rated like PG. Yeah. Like it's not even tits, it's like they're literally like scissoring, and it's rated like
I missed that part of the Wheel of Time.
No, you didn't. It was in there.
The thing about Wheel of Time was it was like, it's okay as long as everyone involved is ugly. That was like the rule. As long as men don't like it, then it's fine.
Right?
Like that had the most least kind of erotic bath scene of any show I've ever seen in my life. Like there was not a single person in there where everyone wasn't like, can you just cover that up, please? Like that's no.
Can we not
say
this, please?
It's so, and it's even crazier when you put it next to like the Witcher bath scene, which is all about exploiting what's his face?
Henry Cavill?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that is what it is all about. So it's it's insane to like see that.
It sounds like the birds wolf whistling in the background.
I was gonna say like
somebody shut that bird up.
No,
I
my
like
husband,
it. I like
my
the bird.
my husband taught it how to cat call.
Nice.
There you go.
Nice.
Right?
Based.
He's like, they can't get mad at a bird.
That's pretty great. That's pretty great.
But
Just goes onto building sites and like puts it on the highest point.
Just opens a window, lets it go out and cause havoc in the streets.
Yeah. Like trained it.
I wish I could get him, but I'm not. I have 12-foot ceilings in this room, and I'm not 12 feet tall.
No, you're fine.
I'm only 7'7". Sorry.
Yeah, 7'7".
Nice.
Yeah, you'll get
Nice.
there.
Yeah,
you'll get there one day.
You're taller than She-Hulk. Then
I'd make Ben weep. He'd be so.
That's why he left. Once he heard your height, he
Yes.
was like
intimidated.
Oh,
Yep.
Ridiculous, but no.
Yeah. So let's see, Mike. What do you have going on this week? Anything super special?
All the same things I always have going on. Oh, there's a new map on the Rock Blade Point. So the next time I play that, either be later today or Monday, I'm going to be checking that out because that's dope. Also, we're getting on this YouTube train because She-Hulk is bad enough that I can't go on other people's streams and rant about it. I got to do it myself. So we're gonna get that going. Yeah.
There you go.
I'm just gonna turn on my camera and start screaming at you guys for 5 to 10 minutes about how bad She-Hulk is, and then run away. So
good. Yeah, that'll be good.
Yeah.
And then Disbrew, what about you?
Lots of Rings of Power stuff coming up over the next few weeks, and She-Hulk. I really want to cover Andor as well because I think there's so many people think that's going to be good, and they're going to be surprised. And then I'm still not decided about House of Dragon. I'll probably do something about it at some point.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so with that being said, I think we're caught up on everything. So thank you so much, chat, for hanging out with us. And yeah, it was great. It was awesome. And we're back here next Saturday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time as well. So we'll see you all next Saturday. With that being said, thank you, everyone. Have a great rest of your weekend, and we'll catch you all in another stream soon. Bye.